So hello everybody. It is Sunday and it is the Demetra K show. I'd like to welcome Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq. And I also like to welcome YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You are the other side of the conversation. And hello, Fly Guy. I'm not sure if you're still on there, but hello. Thank you so much. You are the other side of the conversation. You all are not just viewers, but we do invite you to participate, and even more so because I have pinned a link on YouTube for you to join the conversation if you choose to do that. I decided, hello, Miss Moni. Yes, it is 6:15 and the time has changed. It's kind of caught everybody a little bit off guard. But so I've decided to bring a Tuesday show to a Sunday show. Now, for those of you guys may not know, our Tuesday show, when I say Army and Donovan, we do our podcast where we kind of bounce ideas and arguments, as you guys have seen, off of each other about relationship topics. And so today we're going to do that. And we're going to ask the audience to join, because I see a lot of times in the comment, like, y'all should be talking about this on the live shows. Like, all right, I'm going to oblige you today. So anyway, once again, welcome. Hello, El Boogie. How are you doing? And Jan Michael, what's going on with you? So today we're going to talk about two things. I really kind of struggled with today, like what to talk about. And so I came across these two things. One of them is going to be of a woman who basically ghosted. And for those of you guys who don't know what ghost mean, ditched a man at a restaurant for him being too cheap. And I'll let her explain that to you in just a minute. And then there's another video of, I think it's a man, I'm not sure, but he's basically admonishing the women, men saying they don't like these things. Basically, why don't y'all listen? And so we're going to get into that. Hello, Tisha, what's going on with you? But before I get started, and I'm going to get everybody a chance to come on here. Well, Donovan, what say you before I get started?
Well, welcome. We are late on this change of venue and time and stuff. I had no idea, because today is going to be a very, very special day, because just like Demetra said, we did a show on Tuesday, and Demetra and I have opinions in regards to men and women, and and our needs and our roles and things like that. And Demetra happens to know that it was good that she had a man in regards to when she needed it. But do us a favor, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. What is going on?
We see and hear you fine.
Oh, wow.
We hear you.
Okay, there's something going in my mic there. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we hear and see you just fine.
Okay. But do me a favor, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. See, today's a very weird day when you're off. Your whole thing is off. Spring forward, fall back. So I always remember that as a imperative. But I think in California, we won't have to worry about that at all. I won't change at all anymore. So, and again, it takes a lot to do a show. If you guys, so be it. We have Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, checks, money orders, whatever. We take it all. It don't matter. But this is going to be an interesting topic. So without further ado, Demetra, take it away.
Yes, indeed. LS, how are you doing? And Monet, what's going on with you? You say, I must say, I hate daylight savings and I hate to go to work tomorrow. I'll stop complaining. Yeah, kind of us all off guard. And Monet says, please make Tuesday be live as well. Bring up Thursday and Friday back. Ooh, yeah, we were doing a lot of shows. Sometimes we'll be good. How about a St. Patty's Day show? Luck of the Irish. I want to see my brown sugar boo. Her brown sugar boo is Donovan. In case y'all don't know that, she is in love with Donovan. Oh, Miss CM, how are you doing? Long time no see. Yep, Donovan coming with the mess already. Momo, what's going on? Saying, I know something seems off. And Wilbur, what's going on with you? And Jamarcus, hello. Martin says, Demetra, I would love to know when you're going to do a topic on election. This was the first time ever making history, as many states, for example, in Michigan, is the first time all Democratic state house. I'll talk about politics probably in the near future. I'm just not really turned on by politics. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not abreast of the things that are going on. I just kind of want to take a break from it, because I think by now, as we as Black people, we know what we need to do. I like to talk about the relationships, I think, a little bit more, because it's going to take the Black man and the Black woman to help us as Black people get to where we need to go. So anyway, hello, Brother Don. So let me tell y'all this really quick before I jump into the topic. All right. As y'all know, my brother has an Airbnb property in Conroe is where it is. So it's about an hour away from me. And my daughter and I, we help him with the property a couple times a week as it's been going now. So anyway, Friday was no different. We took care of the property, and then on our way out, which we rarely do, right? We being my daughter and I, we rarely stop. There's a Love's gas station. It's like the only store between the freeway and his house, right? So he's kind of far back by the lake. Anyway, I was like, okay, well, let's stop because we really didn't eat much that day. Let's stop and get a snack before we get home and get something to eat. Stopped at the Love's, and we got some French fries. So my daughter went out before me. Now I was headed out before her, but she headed out before me, and I went back to get some ketchup. So as I go outside, she's looking underneath her car, and I ain't gonna show y'all the video because some of y'all might not want to see it. I understand. She's looking underneath her car, and I said, "What are you doing?" She says, "Mom, look under the car and tell me what you see." I look under the car, and I look back at her, and I said, and I say nothing. She goes, "Do you see a snake?" And I said, "Yes, it's a snake." Mind you guys, while we were at my brother's house, a snake, a diamondback rattlesnake, of all snakes, which is very deadly and poisonous, somehow climbed underneath my daughter's vehicle, right? And we could see it sticking out a little bit. And so, of course, we're like, ah! We're freaking out. But luckily, it was a Friday evening, so the Love's was very busy. So we saw this brother, and we said, "Hey, come here, come here. Can you look under there and tell us what you see?" He looks under there, and he says, "That looks like a snake." So then another brother, we waved him over because he was pumping gas, was like, because we needed all these opinions, right? Like, what do you see? He says, "Oh my God, it's a snake." So the first brother we summoned over, he says, "Okay, get one of them." Talk about, a white man. He said, because they love that kind of stuff, right? So we're all trying to figure out what to do. So my daughter sees the guy who works at Love's, and they say, "Well, ask him, maybe he can help." He goes, "Well, y'all might want to call animal control." He says, "You know what? Let me see what I can do." So we lifted the hood up, and he looks and he says, "Yeah, it's a snake." So there was this other man. He's a white man. He was pumping gas next to us, and he goes, "Is everything okay?" Because, everybody's kind of gathering around at this point. "Everything okay?" And I was like, or my daughter wanted to, there's so much going on. She was like, "There's a snake that's inside or underneath the car." He goes, "Is it?" And so he gets under the car and he looks, he said, "Yes, it's a snake. I'll get it." So he goes back to his truck and he gets a hook and he's getting the snake from under the car. And so he gets the snake and he goes, "Oh yeah, that's a diamondback rattler." So then he has somebody with him, and I guess they were maybe washing windows or something. I don't know. So he gets the long squeegee and he traps the snake down there. And, because the snake kept on trying to get back under the car. So everybody's freaking out. And so we're trying to find something to kill the snake with because they didn't have nothing to kill the snake with. So another guy comes out of Love's with a knife, and the knife couldn't have been that big. I kid you not. Because the other guy had the snake's head trapped so he couldn't move with his body, right? So the man comes out and he chops the thing's head off. And they take the snake and they throw it over, wherever it was. And I was like, "Oh my God." I said, "Can I buy y'all lunch, dinner? Can I pump your gas? Can I buy you a house? Can I do something for you?" And they're like, no, don't worry about it. These kind of snakes are around here all the time. And what happened too is when we drove off, it got his tail kind of cut off from the fan or whatever. We didn't know it was in there. So anyway, I said all of that to say, I would never, ever, ever, and never, ever, ever, Donovan, I will punch you in your throat. That was a sidebar. I've never, ever been one of those type of women to say, I don't need a man. Never. Because I'm going to tell you this, ladies. You don't think you need a man until a diamondback rattlesnake is under your daughter's vehicle and you're freaking out. All the blood is left of your body and you don't know what to do, right? But I want to say this. There was black men. There was white men. There was Hispanic men. All walks of life. They came together for two sisters. Now, I'm going to tell y'all, because, when I go to my brother's property, we're cleaning their property. We was dusty. You know what I mean? Look like we haven't cleaned it. They came to the rescue of two dusty sisters that were at our wits' end. And I'm going to say this, and I've said that to them. Kudos to you men for helping. And I want to say this. I know that there are good men out there, and I will again never be a woman to say I don't need a man because it's cute in theory. run around here talking about you don't need a man until you got like something like that going on. Now, I will say this too about the brother who was like, well, get one of them. They like that. Before the white man intervened, he was like, you know what? I'll go in there and I'll get it. Y'all really want me to get it? And we was like, well, if that's something you want to do, you know. But so all of them were just willing to help, and they helped, and we were on our way home. Now I will say this, ever since then, it has caused me to look under the car every time. Every time we get in it, because they say here in Houston that it is snake season. And it was funny because earlier that day I was at cycling with my daughter, and some lady was like, oh, y'all know what snake season? I said, what's that? She says, like, from, I guess, February to March or April, snakes are out and about. I'm like, come on now. I don't need another reason to regret being in Texas, right? And lo and behold, a mother snake gets up under the car. You know what I'm saying? So,
hey, wait, you forgot. And immediately she gets home and she calls me talking about she needs a ticket back to California for
I told a lot of people that. I was like, I can't do it. I'm not made for this. But anyway, I just want to say I love and appreciate you men. I really do. Sisters, if we are running around, any woman for that matter, running around talking about we don't need a man, wait till you need a man. Because I'll tell you one thing, not one woman put on a cape and said, I'll get it. Move out of the way, you suckers. I'll get it. Not one woman. I'm not saying they should have, but I just wanted to point out the difference between good old-fashioned men and women. You know, the damsels in distress. So anyway, that's my story. Yeah, snake season, y'all. So who else came on here before I get started? It was crazy. I'm telling y'all. But to me, I extracted a deeper meaning from that. I won't get into it now, but to take a sake of time, maybe later I will. So who else came on here to join? Brother Reggie, what's going on? Momo, if I didn't already, hello, how you doing? And I'm seeing you guys comment. Sunlight, how you doing, beautiful? And Anita, what's going on with you? You didn't miss nothing yet. And let's see here. Who else? The Prince of Paraphernalia, how are you doing today? Kimmy, what's going on? And Eunice, how you doing? And let me see, just make sure I didn't miss anybody before I Kiki, how are you? Applied Knowledge, what's going on? Third Coast McQueen, what's up? All right, so I'm gonna play y'all this video of a woman who basically said that she ditched out or ghosted a man. Sounds like he was being cheap. So let me play it and then I'll get Donovan's opinion. Then I'm actually open up the link early. Hello, Jimmy. So I can get you guys' opinion. So here we go.
Hinge dates. Why am I doing this to myself? So we scheduled to go to dinner. We are sitting at the restaurant. Seems very nice. Not a catfish. Things are going well. And the waitress comes over. She wants to take our order. And I said, okay, I'm going to take the branzino. And he said, I'm going to take the burger. And the waitress asked him, okay, how do you like your burger? He said how he likes his burger. And do you want some cheese on your burger? And he asked, is this going to be extra? And she says, yes, it's $3 extra. And he said, okay, then never mind. Over there, and I'm like, what the actual fuck? I'm like, okay, I'm hungry. I'm gonna eat my branzino and see what happens. And he's like, oh my god, you have to pay extra for everything these days. And I'm like, yeah, it's New York City. So I got my branzino, he got his burger, we were eating. And once I was satisfied, I got up and I was like, I'm going to the restroom for a second. And I took my purse and I went to the waitress and I was like, hey, I just want to pay the bill. And I just paid the bill and walked out of the restaurant. And I texted him. So I texted him, the check is taken care of. You should have gotten the cheese. And I blocked him.
So just to recap, she went out to dinner with a man and she met him on Tinder. I think she said it was. She met him on Tinder. They met at a New York restaurant. She had something, I don't know what it was, but he had a burger. And the waitress asked him if he wanted cheese. And he said, how much is it? The waitress said $3. And he said, no, you know, I guess he kind of complained about it being expensive. The cheese is expensive. So he didn't get the cheese on his burger. And so they ate or whatever. And then she got up, said she was going to the restroom, got her stuff, and then went and paid the bill. Again, texted him and said, I paid the bill. And she blocked him, basically meaning that she didn't want to hear from him again. Now, Donovan, well, everything you heard and what I recapped, what is your opinion on that?
Hey, her body, her choice, her check, her choice. Everything is her choice. I mean, obviously there was something that she saw in this man that she did not like, and kudos to her. She, paid the check and left. I mean, she isn't obligated to outright have to show any kind of allegiance to this man. Obviously, she's not interested, so she did the right thing and bailed out. I mean, easy come, easy go.
Yeah, so to me, and I'm going to open up the link if you guys want to come on here. So let's see who else came on here. Common Man 80, how are you doing? Wow. Say, yeah, he's better off without it. Lord Bison, how you doing? You say, stop taking these females, I guess you meant females, on dinner dates. Okay. And Lady Blue, what's going on with you? So the link is in the YouTube chat if you guys want to click on. So I'm going to say this. There's levels to this. Now, this particular young lady, I guess I kind of want to say she saw the writing on the wall, or maybe the writing that's not on the wall. She saw the signs nevertheless, because I would imagine from her, she's thinking, damn, if you're complaining over $3 on some cheese, that's going to create other problems in the relationship if we do venture into a relationship, because for one, that is kind of cheap. And if you didn't want the cheese, I'd have said maybe just say, never mind, even if you thought $3 for cheese was a lot of money. But I think to that young woman, she was like, nah, he's cheap about some cheese. It's going to be, other issues in the future that maybe he's going to complain about, or maybe she thought he didn't see his worth. Like, man, if your favorite food is a cheeseburger, why wouldn't you just get it? Like, you shortchanging yourself over $3. Now, I can see if they said $30 for some cheese, but $3 for some cheese, man. And then not only did you say you didn't want it, but you complained about not wanting it. So from her being their first date, she's probably like, oh, okay, this is problematic, because forget me, he don't really even know me yet like that, but himself, he doesn't have a value or self-worth on himself, at least not to complain about it to me. And so I don't know if I necessarily would have went about it the way she did, but at least she paid the dinner, right? She said she paid for the bill and told him, she paid for it, don't worry about it, but no longer wanted to date him because she blocked him. Now, I probably would have handled it a little bit differently. I probably said, come on, man, get the cheese. It's $3. I probably would have made a joke out of it, but I think she was probably like, yeah, I don't need to explain anything to him because I'm not going to go on a date with him, from what I understand or not. I don't know, maybe they did again. I'm not going to date him anymore, so I don't owe him an explanation. But I kind of see where she was going with that. You cheat, and you're telling me you cheat. $3 for cheese, and like she said, in New York, everything's expensive. So it's like, did you not charge it to the game, and brother? Or now, I'm not saying brother as if he's a black man. I don't know what he is, but I'm just saying in general, you ask a woman out on a date, and then you didn't make provisions for that date. I don't know. So I can't necessarily be mad at her for not wanting to venture off into another date with this man. Again, the link is open.
Yeah, just to add to that, now, Demetra, I am a non-branded type person, because I happen to believe it isn't the clothes that makes the person. It's the person that makes the clothes. So a lot of my friends know you won't see me in Air Jordans. You won't see me in name brand stuff, because that's just not my style. But a lot of girls that I will date will see that and think that I'm either cheap, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm this, right? But I'm the one that owns the house. I'm the one that has the cars. I'm the one that's going on the trips, but I'm cheap. But, there are some people that are like that. They're, my mom, I wouldn't say my mom, but I've heard, people say they call them label hoes. Just because you got a label and it's a so-called an expensive thing doesn't necessarily mean anything if you're still living in the ghetto. You know what I mean? So again, it's just, some people are raised like that. It's just they figure if you ain't got a name label on it, you're not a person of substance and stuff. And again, to each his own. Everybody's his own. I think she did the right thing by bailing out. If she wants a guy that is a little bit more spend thrifty, he's more of a spend type person when you're out and about, yeah, so be it. But let me clarify this, and Demetra knows this about me. I'm the kind of person that if I buy something for somebody, or if I'm buying something, I tell people all the time, get what it is you want for yourself. Don't, if you want a Mercedes and somebody's trying to talk you into a Volkswagen, get the Mercedes. Please get the Mercedes, because you will never be happy because you got something you didn't want. However, a person like myself, I want to appreciate the Mercedes. So don't get me the Mercedes. I want something, what I want other than different. You shouldn't be offended by that, because everybody's got their own different tastes. So yeah, but kudos to her for bailing out. I saw disaster right down the street if she continued with this gentleman.
And so I'm just reading some of y'all comments, and y'all saying $3 for a slice of cheese. Damn that. So I'm gonna read y'all comments.
It's New York. I mean, think about it. You're in New York.
I'm going to keep reading y'all comments until somebody comes on and maybe wants to expound upon that. And Jimmy says, I know it's like Blazing Saddles. And Monet says $3 for extra cheese. No. Okay. Lady Blue says, Branzino is fish. It's delicious. I have some in the freezer. Okay. Yeah. Because I didn't know exactly what that is. Okay. And Laura Bison, you say, and I hope I'm saying that right, by the way, says no dinner dates. Okay. Well, come on and explain that, if you will. And Eunice says that was really mean-spirited of her to do that in regards to leaving. That wasn't her business. If he did not want to pay the extra $3, it didn't stop her from ordering what she wanted. Good point. And Common Man 80 says, like he isn't obligated to pay $3 for cheese. See, I don't think anybody's saying anything about obligation and that he was obligated. I think what we have to do is get good at really hearing what people are saying, sometimes without them really saying it. And like she said, you like $3 for cheese and you on a date. There wasn't nothing against her, but it's like, man, you're shortchanging yourself. $3 for cheese. Like if I'm going out on a dinner date, $3 for cheese, like that wouldn't have blown me away. I wouldn't have thought, damn, because I just wouldn't have, right? Because if I'm going out somewhere, I guess, I intend to pay some money, or if I'm going on a date, like I don't know. You know what I mean? Is $3 high? For McDonald's, yeah. McDonald's is high. Burger King is high. But if you're at an upscale restaurant, I would imagine the food that she had, maybe you can't get that at McDonald's. They probably weren't at a regular burger greasy spoon, right? They was probably somewhere where it's, and the cheese is $3. You know what I mean? So that wouldn't have bothered me much. But Kiki says, so he seemed nice and she dipped on him because of this, though. I mean, it was more a diplomatic way to do it. And I totally agree with you. I wouldn't have hopped out of a window per se on the man. I probably would have, had a conversation with him, but I wouldn't have done that. I think that is mean spirit. Sound like she took him on a dinner date. She paid. Shut up. Well, yeah, she paid. It doesn't sound like she was supposed to pay, but I guess she said, I take it upon myself that, hey, buddy, do you a favor. Since $3 for cheese is too much, I'll go ahead and take care of the whole bill, and then we just don't have to worry about this no more, right? And Eunice says, I'm glad she did that, even though there probably was hurting his feeling. It's better for him to hurt a little bit now than hurt a little bit later. Yeah, I mean, I agree. And they just weren't out on the same page. I think she could have went about a different way to tell him that. And I don't know. And then Moni says, I never say I don't need a man, because a man is God's beautiful creation. If I can get Donovan in a couple of weeks, I'll be happy. And I know how to treat a man without being a pain. Donovan, I hope you're taking notes. Kiki says, sounds like they weren't just compatible. They just weren't compatible, rather. She did them both a favor. Yeah, that's kind of where I get from it, too. A teacher says, I'm with him. Laugh out loud, $3 for a slice of cheese. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I mean, to some people, $3 for a slice of cheese is a lot of money, but you going out to a nice restaurant, it's probably not, And Laura,
look at the mathematics about it. If the burger itself costs $6 and they want $3 for cheese, yeah, I would, that's almost a third of what you're paying. So it's like, but again, if you're going to go on a date, get what you want. If you're at an expensive restaurant, when I'm traveling overseas, Demetra, when we're overseas, where were the most expensive places that we ate? The restaurants. If we're eating at a nice restaurant, that you're going to pay. But in South Africa, when we were at the restaurants, the service. It was about the ambiance of the service that we were getting. And we were tipping those guys big.
Yeah, you know, you go somewhere, you just kind of know you're not going to pay 50 cents for extra cheese. You know what I mean? And Lord, is it Bison or Bison? Tell me. He says, yes, let these strong and independent females pay since they are boss women. Yikes. Come on, brother. Come on here and speak your mind. I'd love to hear from you. And I'm going to start calling y'all out. Don't be in the comment section thugging. Come on, click the link and let us hear your
Keyboard gangsters. Yeah.
Yeah. Let us hear your voice. I want to hear you explain this out. Common Man 80 says that sounds like he's prudent. Okay. Tawana, how you doing? He says he was not the man for her. Yep, I would agree. And LS says, was it cheese for him or her? It was for him. He wanted the cheeseburger, but the extra cheese was $3, and he said no. So yeah, it was his choice. I don't know. I just think if I was a man, and I'm not, trust me, if I was, or a woman even, if I didn't want something on the first date, surely I'm not going to sit up there and complain about it. I would have probably said, you know, on second thoughts, I'll just go ahead and take the burger, you know, without the cheese. I don't need the cheese. No way. You know, whatever. If money was an issue, right? I don't know.
Well, then again, ladies, you also know that if you're going on a date with somebody for the very first time, or, you know, you're just getting to know this person, and you're ordering lobster tails and all that other stuff, he's going to expect something at the end of the date. And it ain't going to be thank you and a hug. I mean, come on.
All right. Since you went there, brother, if I go out on a date with a man and he takes me to dinner, I'm going to order what I want unless he says, okay, well, you know, I'm working on a budget. I don't have a problem with that. Like, I would respect you if you tell me. I wouldn't think less of you if you say I'm on a budget. $20 for you, 20. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if I ordered the at market lobster, which I don't like, but I'm just saying at market lobster for $300 a pound, that don't guarantee you nothing under my skirt. That ain't on the menu.
Demetra, now you know with me, I go all out. You can supersize everything, right? But you got to give me something. I mean, I work hard for my dollars.
How you doing, homie? How you doing? You know what I mean?
Your waiter, fries and fish sticks for her, please.
Whatever. It'll be fries and fish sticks before you get my fries and fish sticks. Let me says, okay, so you're agreeing with Eunice. And let's see, your teacher says, it doesn't sound like he complained about what she ordered. No, it doesn't. I don't think she complained about what he ordered necessarily. I think she was just saying, you know, like, damn, he's complaining over $3 cheese. Now, listen, like I said, it's a little extreme, but I'm not mad at anybody who says, you know what? I'm not going to waste his time. I'm not going to go on with the date. He's not the man for me. Not again. She should not have low-key jumped out of a window on him. I think she should have just been adult enough to say, you know what? You're a very nice guy. Thank you for taking me to dinner. I don't think we're going to be a match, and keep pushing, right? Now, that's the adult, mature thing to do. Then, I don't know. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let me skip down just a little bit just to kind of catch up. And Al Smith, how you doing? You say she should have bought her own damn dinner. Well, she did. She did buy her own dinner because as she skipped out, she stopped by and paid the check for their meal and said, I'm going to take care of it. And she told her she took care of it. And then she blocked them. That's kind of what happened. You know what I mean? Anita says this can go either way. And Sunlight says she did buy her dinner. Listening is fundamental. Brother Reggie says, I can get a pack of cheese for $3. I'm married with kids. So, yeah, priorities. Well, brother, you wouldn't be out on no date. You married unless you're taking your wife on a date. I don't know. Teacher says he could be frugal in one area and spare no expense in others. And that is true. Maxwell, how are you doing? Let's hear Tito. What's going on with you? He says $3. And let's see here. CG, how are you doing? Brother Reggie says, I hope the guy is rich and he was just testing her to see where his head was at. And if that was the case, then he now has his answer, right? So it's kind of a win-win for both of them if that is what he's doing. Now, I'm not personally saying that the guy was wrong. I'm just telling you from her point of view, I'm pretty sure that's why she did it. Like, you know, he's complaining about $3 worth of cheese. I don't know. And then my thing is too, if it's a test, why would you risk running a woman away? I mean, if you're interested in dating somebody, right? So it's a lot going on. Eunice says, believe me, my husband and I will spend a good money for excellent meal. Who's to say he just wasn't testing her? Some people may say that it's playing games, but she jumped ahead and judged him. I see that. So let me go ahead and skip down here a little bit. David, how are you doing? It says grown men know how to complain, especially in front. I'll make sure I read the right. Grown men know how know not to. Complain, especially in front of a ladies about the price of anything, let alone a cheese slice on a burger. Makes you look cheap and immature. To top it, and I'm glad a man said that, because I mean I agree. Like I said, if the cheese was too expensive, then I would have just kept that to myself. You know what I mean? I'd be like, you know what? I think I would take a burger by itself without the cheese, if you don't mind. And I just left it at that. That's just me, though. I can't tell people what to do. LS says, maybe if he gets the cheese, he can't pay for her food. She might be an ungrateful wench. I mean, I don't know. Donovan, you as a man, because ain't no man clicking the link to come on here just yet. Donovan, if you're taking a young lady or it's a more seasoned woman to lunch or dinner, are you going to take enough money so she can get what she wants? Or are you going like how would you handle that? If you met a woman on Tinder, you're going out, and I know you ain't a stranger to Tinder, you're going out on a date with a woman for the first time. How would you handle that as far as money and the date?
Well, as a man, and this is just, my thinking about it. Now, I'm a man, I'm a seasoned man, so I should be at a certain level with my finances and all that. Like I said, if I was 19 or 20 years old, that's a different story. But at the level that I'm at, no matter what restaurant this lady picks, no matter where we go, I will cover what it is I need to cover in regards to whatever it's going to be. And I think any man should do that. If you're going to wait up until the time that you're sitting at the table, the date is starting, and you're going to complain about the bill or what she's ordering or what's this and what's that, brother, it's a little too late at that point.
Yes, indeed. And as Maxwell said, I wouldn't go on a date broke, and broke is, subjective, I guess, to, I don't know, whatever broke may mean to different people. But I think if you're going on a date with somebody, you would just kind of say, all right, especially if you know where you're going, money is an issue, Google the menu and say, oh, okay, the highest thing on here is this. So do I at least have enough to cover that? You know what I mean? Unless you're just upfront, listen, girl, I like you. I want to treat you. However, let's keep this, this menu at a minimum type. You know what I mean?
Well, think about this, Demetra. I mean, okay, I'm talking to you. Hey, Demetra, let's go to the, and you say, hey, there's this really great place at the Mission Inn. I'm going to Google the Mission Inn, and I already know what the Mission is, right? So I know I got to have some money. To go to the Mission Inn. The Mission Inn in Riverside, California is not cheap. That's where all the presidents go, all the bigwig movers when they come into the Inland Empire. So, when these guys get there, that's what kills me sometimes as men. You know what these restaurants are, especially if you live in the same city or whatever. And it ain't like you're going to Del Taco. You know what I mean? Especially when a girl mentions to me a restaurant I've never heard of, I know it's going to be some expense to it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, for brothers, you got to do your homework, because you guys are giving brothers a black eye when you guys go out and do that. And that's why these women get out here, talk about we dusties, we this and we that, because you're not doing your homework. And then even if Demetra did say that, hey, let's go to the Mission Inn, I'd be like, you know what? I heard so many bad reviews about the Mission Inn, but there's this other spot we should go to, the Salty Pig, which is like a couple streets down. And we can go to the Salty Pig and go get something over there, talk it down or something, but brothers, you got to stop giving the game a black eye.
Yes, indeed. Sunlight says decent women are not giving you anything on the first date, and that's a fact, Jack.
I've met a lot of decent women that have given me plenty on the
But, and I want to go back to this comment here. Brother Jimmy says, ladies, do not go on a date with someone you're not interested in or not giving him y'all know what that is. I agree. Don't go on a date with a man that you're not interested in. Just don't, because you're stringing him along. You're not interested. And I tell you men all the time, there's women out there who has the ideology of a girl's got to eat. I'm going to go anyway to get something to eat. And I personally would not go on a date with a man that I'm not interested in, because I'm not going to lead you on, and it's not going anywhere from here. I can eat at home, mash 2 pieces of bread together and call it a meal if I really need to do that. So I would not go on a date with a man. And as far as giving him something, let me ask y'all that men this, and I want y'all to think about this. You ain't got to necessarily respond. Why and what on earth, other than the late, great Kevin Samuels, makes y'all think that y'all are entitled to a woman's cookies for you buying her some cookies on a date? Like, why do y'all think that's equal? Do you think steak is the equivalent of what's under her dress? I'm asking. Just think about that. Just think about it. I'd love somebody to come on here. Yeah, Sister Pam. Yeah, how you doing, homie? I see you later. All right, let me skip down a little bit. Jamarcus, she says, split that bill down the middle like Snoop on BMF said. If y'all watch BMF, I do watch BMF. Yeah, that was pretty funny. I won't give it away, but yeah, that Snoop Dogg was playing a pastor, a kind of ratchet pastor on the show. And yeah, he did that. So we have Deanna wants to come up and speak. Let's hear what she has to say.
Hi.
Hey, wait, do I know this girl? Go ahead.
Yes, I knew Mom wouldn't let me yell on her speaker on her side. So I was like, let me jump in this dang link. But to this topic, I feel like as a younger person, as a millennial and all, I see both sides, but not really his side. I see the side of like, okay, she shouldn't have blocked him. That's excessive. And it's kind of mean girly. Like, why would you do that? But also, like, the fact that he wouldn't pay for the $3 for the cheese, it's not a red flag, but it's a bad sign. We'll say a yellow sign, because it's like, this is going to manifest later. You're not paying for cheese today. Tomorrow, you're not going to pay for an $80 inhaler our child needs because we can't afford it, or it's too expensive and she don't really have asthma or something stupid. That's just what I think.
Okay. Donovan?
No, wholeheartedly. Like I said, there are telltale signs when you go out and you date. You're kind of like, it's like an interview to a job, like you're trying to get to the marriage and stuff. So you're kind of interviewing. And it's like she said, if he's figuring $3 on a date, it ain't like he's at the store shopping. He's on a date. You work hard, you play hard, whatever, there's a time to work, there's a time to play. Hey, you should be out there, all out, having fun and just relaxing. If he's worried about that, like she said, an inhaler's going to come up. Oh, he's going to be counting pennies and pockets at every little thing that comes up. And that's going to be a flag to a lot of people. How do you go and enjoy yourself? And what's that? I think there was a show on that. Everybody Hates Chris, where the father always was counting every penny and stuff like that. That's $5.50 on the air and all this other stuff. So I agree with her. Like I said, fellas, you guys are giving us a black eye when you go out and you don't have enough funds to take care of the date. You want to impress this woman, right? Now, you shouldn't be impressing with money. Of course not. You shouldn't lead with that. But, that's part of the game. Women know, hey, guy's going to ask me the proper way, proper etiquette. I'm going to be asked out by the dude. You should expect the dude to pay. And you guys have a nice night out and, evaluate each other and ask each other a lot of questions about life, about kids, about marriage, about whatever. And then, you move the relationship forward.
And let me read this in Jarland. I hope I said that right. How you doing, by the way? He said, I had a similar situation. A guy and I agreed to have dinner. I asked him to pick the place. He controlled the cost. And I said beforehand via text, let's plan to go Dutch. We agreed at the restaurant. The check came. I pulled out my credit card. He sat there. I went ahead and said, I've got it. I paid for both of us to avoid a conversation. But guess what? We will never go out again. And that's that. Deanna, what's your opinion on that?
I've actually paid for not a whole date, but my part of a date before, just because like I went on a date with this guy and there was nothing there. Like he said 20 words, maybe tops to me the whole time. It was very weird. And I was like, you know what? I got it. I'm going to pay for my part of bowling. I'm going to pay for my drink. I'm going to pay for my games. I got it. It's good. And then, you know, I had already had it in my mind that there was no connection here. We're not going to date again. And as we were leaving, he was like, oh, well, maybe next time we can meet up at my house. And I was like, see, now we're getting down to it. You had no interest in actually dating me. You were trying to have relations with me. And you were dead in the water, no communication. But the minute you talked about having a sexual relationship, you were excited and lively, and a person I should have seen 2 hours ago on this date on regular conversational things.
So, Deanna, let me ask you this. Would you have preferred him even before y'all went out on a date, or even once you got there, to just say, you know what? I ain't about all this other stuff. I just kind of want to have relations with you. What would that have done if he would have just been honest?
I mean, we wouldn't have went out because that's not the page I was on, but I would have respected him being upfront about that instead of, you know, dragging it on for 2 weeks and then talking about, oh, let's go out on a date. So you wasted my time for 2 weeks, got me out here on a date just for you to be boring until you brought up us potentially having sex.
Well, let's be honest about something like that. You know, men, I mean, that's the, you know, I'm not saying all men, so let's not be all inclusive, but a lot of men, that's the end result, where we're trying to do, say, and act however way we can act to get with you, ladies, as a final conquering act of the pursuit. You know what I mean? To say it in a kind and gentle way. So I'm not defending what he was doing. I'm just saying it's in our nature to kind of do that. And you can see in some situations where, like, young ladies, you know the guy's no good, and yet you still end up with the dusty dude at the end of the day, even though he hasn't really done anything for you.
And, you know, I agree. But my thing is, be upfront with that, because there are women who are just, they're in that stage of their life. They're in that phase where they just want to hop on something and not have a relationship and hop off and move on and be a hot girl. But I was not in that phase when I was talking to him. So it was like,
Correct.
If you would have just matched with somebody or talked to somebody who, you know, you knew was going to be down for that, you wouldn't have wasted your time. You wouldn't have wasted my time.
Absolutely. And by the way, if you could do me a favor and send that list in YouTube of the girls that are.
Oh my God. And so let me see here. Eunice, she said, my thing is, why wouldn't you let it get to the point of having a child or getting married to that person? And you actually said something too, I want to kind of go back to. You said some men are really excessively cheap, but I don't think that you should judge it on the first date. Time will tell. Maybe on the second or third, especially if everything else matches up. Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair, but I think some people are just like, if you know type of thing. And then I think there's got to be a lot of other things going on the date, as far as like, yeah, I'm really feeling him. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he cheap, but he cute. Whatever, you know what I mean? But if you're just not vibing with that person, I think sometimes our instincts are trying to say, he ain't the one. She ain't it, you know what I mean? And then we kind of go against those things, and then we end up in a jam, if you will. But yeah, I agree. I don't think the first date is necessarily all the time the litmus test of who that person is going to be. But then some people say, like I said, when you know. And let's see here. Facts Not Feelings, how you doing? It says, I saw a TikTok video lesson where a Chinese man and a woman was on a date. The man did not realize he did not have enough money. Instead of the woman embarrassing him, she slips him a few bills with a smile. Yeah, I could see that too. But, you know, on the other side of that, there's some men who's like, damn, I left my wallet at home. I'm going to give y'all an example. My sister, I want to have her on here one day. Boy, I tell you, my sister, she is a character. But she said a man had invited her out to dinner and a movie and stuff. And they had got to go get the tickets or whatever for the movie. I don't even think it was dinner. I just think it was a movie. And he was like, oh, wow. I left my wallet at home. I forgot my wallet. She says, well, I guess we ain't going to the movies. Because she was like, first of all, you knew we was going on this date. How you going to forget something as important as your wallet? And she was like, I just felt like he was running one on me. But she was like, we didn't go see the movie, and we went back home, or I went my way and he went his way. But nah, you ain't finna catch me up. But to the point of the Chinese people or whatever, I get it. For somebody you feeling or whatever, okay, yeah, here, boo, here's a couple bucks. I get it, right?
So wait, is that why Amanda keeps 30 years of holding that against me? The one time I didn't have my wallet, it was true.
It's possible. Brother Andre, how are you doing?
Hey, how are y'all doing today?
Good. What's on your mind?
The whole thing with the dating issue, like for me, when I was younger, I would kind of budget maybe 70, 80 bucks because, that's the type of money I was making. So, I budgeted everything out. I think that's what you do as a man. It shouldn't be, okay, I'm taking you out. We're going to this high-end place and you're going to give me some at the end of the night. Like, that's the chance you take when you go out on a date with a person.
I totally agree with you, and I don't know, maybe it was the young man's first date. I don't know. There's a lot of things that we don't know, but I just think, and I saw a lot of you guys' comments, and Walter is my brother. He crazy. He talking about Deanna. He need that list too, whatever list that is, right? I guess of these women. But I saw in the comment section, a lot of people are saying, well, you don't need to go to dinner. You can maybe do something simple. And I totally agree because I've heard of men, and I actually heard the story from my brother, Walter, you can click the link if you want to join, say that, he's heard of men paying $300-400 on the first date. Now he broke it down. He was like, I might want to get me something good to wear, some smell good. I done got my hair cut and shaved, my shoes shine, because that's the kind of brother he is, right? And I got the car detailed and it's cleaned up and gassed up. So he's counting all this stuff up even before he gets to the date. Says, all right, she may meet me there. I'll pick her up or whatever. And I'm going to take her to a nice restaurant. That meal is going to cost anywhere between $100 to $200+. And so he says by the time the date is over, he done spent, $400. And I'm like, wow, that's a lot of money for somebody you don't know, right? Because if I was a man, and again, I'm not. If I was a man, I'd be like, all right, baby, I'm digging you, you digging me. Do you like coffee? Yeah, sure, I could go for some coffee. And we meet at a coffee house somewhere, and then we chop it up and see if we're compatible. And then on a second or third date, if I'm feeling her, then all right, I might spend a little bit more money. But what happens is, as a man, and I'm not, you spend that kind of money on a woman and she don't like you, and she like, a girl's gotta eat, right? Now you all up on TikTok. This wench, this woo. She took me for a bag of dinner. And it's like, well, why did you take and spend that kind of money on a woman you didn't know? So you see what I'm saying? So it's like, you don't have to take her to dinner.
No, and I agree. A coffee date, ice cream, something like that. I don't have a problem with it. And I would hope that the woman that I would take out on a date wouldn't see it as an issue or judge me because, hey, let's go to Starbucks or something like that. Because you're right. I don't want to invest all this money and it be a bad investment.
And that's exactly what it is. I mean, you spending that kind of money on taking a woman out to dinner, that's an investment at that point. I mean, because, maybe you're balling and $400 is not a big deal to you. But also, what does that tell that woman? You spending that kind of money on her on the first date. What if you just got your taxes back, right? And you was just balling out. I'm going to take her, show her a good time. And the next time you pick her up, it's like, well, baby, we going to Taco Bell. And she's like, I ain't eating that no Taco Bell. That's not where you took me. So it's like you kind of got to, press on the gas lightly. You can't just mash on the gas because you don't know who you taking to dinner. You know what I mean?
No, totally agree.
Mm-hmm. Deanna, what say you?
I agree. But to go back, kind of, you had said something about, you're telling a story about your sister and how she went on a date with that man and he was being cheap or he was playing games. I've been in that situation a couple of times, and it's not that you're being a jerk. You're like, oh, well, then we're not going out because you left your wallet. Because I played it different ways both times. One time, I went out with a guy, and halfway to, mind you, I picked him up, which whatever. And halfway to the bar, he was like, oh, I don't have no money. And so I got off the freeway and turned around. Why would you invite me out to drinks, which you wanted to do, and you don't have no money. What sense does that make? But then, I've also been out with someone and they're like, hey, I'm letting you know up front, so-and-so happened. Do you mind paying for this? And it's like, yeah, like, I know you're not being a jerk or, you're not trying to play me. And that person was genuinely just like a sweet person who later on, like in our relationship, took care of everything times 2. So I feel like when you get to know somebody first, their intentions of whether they're, it doesn't take a lot to tell if somebody is genuinely just being cheap with their money or they genuinely just aren't in a situation to do that at the moment, but will later.
Well, let me ask you this, since Deanna, since you're a millennial, have you ever saw a guy you were interested in and wanted to take him out? Have you ever reversed the role?
Absolutely not.
Okay, there you go.
Why not,
lady.
Deanna?
What the heck?
Why not?
Because first of all, I'm not chasing no man. One, because that's, you get into that, then it's like, well, I truly wasn't even trying to date you anyways. You came to me. No. You want to talk to me, you want to be with me, you need to pursue me. And listen, I don't ghost people. I'm a big girl. I can tell people, I've had other people write text messages, but I can tell people this is not working because you are not doing the work. The bare minimum work is not like, oh, you're not paying for stuff, you're not buying me stuff. You're not even just having basic conversation. You're disappearing for a week and then popping back up. No, you're not trying to get to know me on a personality level. You're just here about, you might pop in every week like, hey, I'm still here. And that doesn't work for me.
So let me get this straight. So you're a millennial, but basically what you're basically saying is you were raised traditional. You are into the aspect of a traditional man who is supposed to pursue a woman or a wife or whatever, if that's what his desire is.
I don't like that term traditional, Donovan.
That's what traditional men used to do back in the day. Traditional men. I'm just trying to delineate you being millennial, where you're used to men pursuing you versus you pursuing men.
Yeah, I'll say that. Yeah.
And I will say this, as her mother, if y'all didn't know, that's my daughter. As a mom, I never raised my daughter to be pursuing men. I get it. I get it. I'm not saying we don't help men or we don't do for men type of thing. That's not what I'm saying. But I think pursuing an individual, especially if you're dating, is a man's job, right? Now,
right.
Of course, women, if you don't want to be caught, then don't play with that man. You know what I mean? If you know you're not trying to be caught by him or pursued by him, don't go to dinner. Don't take gifts. And just be nice about it. Say, you know what? I'm not really interested at this time, but thank you so much for thinking of me, considering me, whatever the case. But continuing to string a man along, even though you're not going to date him, that's a different story. But I just feel like a woman's job is to be pursued. Now, of course, as women, we can throw out little choosy signals. Hey, how you doing, boo? Whatever. But let me get your number. Or jumping up in your inbox. Nah, we ain't finna be doing none of that. That's just nah. And I know nowadays there's a lot of men out there, they like being pursued by women. Women getting to your inbox. Hey, big head, how you doing? Y'all, I have some men that like that. But I'm into a man that's like, nah, don't get in my inbox. I want to get in yours. So, y'all got anything else to say about that?
No, I'm pretty much good. Like I said, it's good to have a millennial's perspective. And when we say millennial, even though Deanna is significantly younger than I am, she is a grown woman. So it's good to have a perspective of a grown woman that's a lot younger than us.
I want to put this up. CJ, if I didn't already, how you doing, CJ? You say most of them ain't going for that coffee date. Well, you know what? You might be right, but guess what? Ask her once. She say, no, I ain't going on no coffee date. Then guess what she did? You a favor. She did you a favor. You know what I mean? Because why would you want to wrestle a woman on a date? Come on, it's gonna be fun. It's coffee. You can have some whipped cream on top. Like that. She's doing you a favor. Keep it pushing. She won't go to coffee because she wants you to spend some big bucks on her. Then that ain't your woman. And thank God. You know what I mean? That she was so honest. That's just kind of how I see it. I mean, to me, those are blessings. And thank you, Marcus, for sharing the link on Facebook. I got you. And Ebony says, I ditched the dude at dinner before because he was ordering me drinks faster than I can drink them, trying to get me intoxicated. Yeah, that's when I say, I'm good with one. Thank you. Thank you.
well, Demetra, let's talk about this. True story. San Bernardino. We were at I guess it was a meet and greet or whatever. And remember those girls were there and I bought them drinks and all that other. I mean, not that they're obligated to do anything, but not even a thank you for the drinks, not even an acknowledgement of the drink. So give us a brief about that, because you were there. You were there.
Yes, and Common Man 80, you a fool. You talking about just get a bottle of wild Irish rose and call it a night. Is it that bad out there? I'm tempted to answer yes, but I ain't been out there, so I don't know. All right, so yes, the times that I have gone out with Donovan, which has been quite a few times, Donovan is just that guy, right? When I say that guy, Donovan has got that. Y'all know I want to choke this man out like twice a week, okay? But I can't lie on this man. Donovan is a ladies' man. I've been out a lot with Donovan. Of course, Donovan and I have never dated. I just want to put that out there. We kind of hang out. And most of the time we're in the bar, he'll see some single women coming on in there. And Donovan will put his little cape on and run right over to the bar. Whatever they're drinking is on me. I've seen him do it. I've seen him do it. And they never say, well, thank you or anything like that. And so we were having a conversation about that one time he did it. He said, what's going on with that? I said, well, it could be a few things. Maybe they think we're together. And it's like, her dude bought me some drinks on the low. They could have thought that. Or maybe they're just, they haven't been taught right. I don't know what it is, but Donovan is that guy. And I know that's very old school, very debonair. Put whatever they're drinking on my tab, And
I want to say this to the fellas, and I hope it doesn't sound like it's simping to me, but it sounds like it's the right thing to do. We know these women are stressed out there, whatever. You see a whole table full of women having a girls' night or whatever the deal is. Brothers, just go buy those girls some drinks so they could change the narrative and say, not all of us out here dirt bags and doing all that, especially when I'm overseas and I see like a lot of American women that, they're having the time of their lives. We were leaving Costa Rica and I met a girl in the airport and she was telling me, everything that her and her girlfriends were doing there. And we were just sitting there having a nice little conversation in the chat, bought her some coffee and we're sitting at the bar and stuff like that. But fellas, really, seriously, these girls, they're having their girls' night. Now, fellas, please, 5 chairs. It's obvious they don't want any company. Just buy them the drink and, and kind of stay away and let them, if they want to come and say hi to you, it kind of looks bad when you come up there and you're trying to figure out which one fell for it. You know what I mean? So, buy these ladies a drink and just, acknowledge them, they're out there, they're working hard,
Well, Donovan, I agree with you. I brought a woman a drink. Actually, I brought her and her friend a drink. And normally, a woman would be like, oh, I appreciate the gesture. Yeah, they didn't say nothing. And as far as buying a whole table full of drinks for her and her homegirls, no, I can't do that. I'm buying drinks for the one I'm choosing.
Yeah,
right. And I get that too. If you particularly one guy, because you do have some homegirls out here that be like, you're interested in her, and she, well, what about my friends? Well, what about them?
About your friends? Fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's always. Let me take this down, Walter. I just sent you the link if you want to come on in your messenger. I mean, it's really always. It's up to the gentleman that's buying the drinks. You don't have to do anything. And I think we should put that out there. It doesn't make you any less of a gentleman if you don't want to buy a woman you don't know a drink. I just kind of know that's kind of old school type of thing. But if a man is being nice to you, I don't care what it is, whether he's opening a door, he's getting a snake up out of your car, you want to say thank you. When a man opens the door for me, I am overly thankful. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Not thank you.
Yeah, for me, whenever I buy a group of women at a table thing, what I notice is that these women are very attractive. Obviously they're out there having a girls' night or after work thing or whatever. And it's just to acknowledge them. They're in the building. Hey, hey, here's a drink on me. If you want to have a drink, have it. If you don't. And all I expect for them, well, I don't really expect it, but if they were raised right, hey, thank you. You ain't even got to get up. Just hey, wave at me. Whatever. Hey, how you doing? Good to know you. It's a good calling card, fellas, if you're out there doing that.
Well, hey, I appreciate y'all letting me come on. Enjoy your broadcast. I'll talk to y'all later.
Thank you so much, dear brother. Come back again.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Wait, I want to hop out too, but before I leave, I wanted to say that I feel like we should just cancel dinner dates, because you're going to be phony while you're sitting there eating and, oh, I'm not going to eat this, and, oh, I'm going to buy you an expensive meal. If you really want to know somebody on a first date, you need to see them in action, whether that's hiking, at a park, in something competitive. I went on a golf date once, and I'm telling you, I seen that man's personality up front, and he was a whiny baby. And it was a no for me. Y'all need to see these people in action up front, not 6 dates in and, oh, we're going to go do something active. No, do it at first. People are going to show you themselves the first time in real life situations, not sitting down at dinner.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that, because a lot of times at dinner, we've got our best clothes on. And I've heard it best, typically on first dates, people send their representative, right? They're clean shaven and they're well spoken and oh, you're so cute, and oh, let me help you out there. So people are kind of a little bit on the phony side because they're trying to, I don't know, make a good impression. But I agree with doing something active. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. Maybe we're going walking. If it was me, we'd probably be going hiking. Nothing too major. Because, I always said I want a man that works out and that's not afraid of spinach and tennis shoes, right? And it drinks a healthy amount of water. That's me, right? So, I think when you go out with somebody, do something that you guys agree on. Okay, let's meet here. Let's go to a park. Let's do something. And that way, like she said, you can see each other's personality, right? Especially if it's something competitive. I actually like that. That's good advice. So you said you're going to hop out of here?
Yes, I'm hungry. Goodbye.
Bye. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that was my daughter. She's coming on more and more. All right.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, we got the link open. The link is pinned on Facebook. On Facebook, I'm sorry, YouTube, and I've been putting it in the comment section every once in a while. I'm going to switch gears in just a second. Donovan, what you got to say?
Well, I just got a question for you, Demetra. What would you do in a situation like that? What would you do in a situation like that?
Okay, so explain the situation like that.
The situation with the cheese and the, whatever. I mean, if you're in a date and the guy was like complaining about the cheese, complaining about the Perrier water that's $6 and, let's face it, you can't go to an expensive restaurant and expect a bottle of wine to be, in the restaurants that I've been in, less than $50. And that's the cheap wine. You're going to get $100 bottle of whatever. So if you're on a date with a guy and he's kind of like, no, I'm not doing this. Are you evaluating him on him as a person or him and his economic savoir-faire?
For me, it would be the conversation, because anybody who knows me, y'all know I can meet a total stranger and in 3 minutes I can learn a lot about them, right? Because I'm just good at having conversations with people. But for me, it's the conversation, certain things that you were saying. Now, of course, I don't know if you should Walter will probably disagree, but we're going to get his opinion in just a second. I don't think you should take a person on a date and then, grill them to death. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What does your credit score look like? You might want to work up to that, to see if you like them. I don't know. But for me, it would be the conversation. If you are more on the negative side, you always complaining or you kind of down in the dumps, and you doing that on the first date, oh, I know, brother, you're going to be doing that, in the 5th year of marriage. And so that kind of stuff is important to me. Now, if you came to me and said, you know what, right now I'm just kind of rebuilding financially, but I got this and that going on, I'm like, all right, I'm cool, I'm with it, because you're working toward, getting yourself together and all that kind of stuff. But if you were negative about that, oh, I ain't got nothing, I'm not going to be able to do it. I need a man that's positive. I need a man that's willing to work towards something. And I need a man that's able to communicate, because as y'all know, I like to talk a lot sometimes. And I want to be with a man that likes to communicate too, or, communicate back. So I don't know. It's a lot of things for me, but for conversation, yeah, your conversation got to be just so. So Walter, what's going on with you? You're flipping us all around. What's going on?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sitting in the spot where I like to take my first dates, the sauna. I'm just kidding. That's like the third or fourth. But no, you made a good comment. I think it's good to ask all those questions. That's the last two women that I dated. That's exactly what I
Hold on 1 second. BJ, can you show me your face really quick, and then I'll put you up on the screen? Go ahead, Walter.
No, I was saying that's exactly where you should start your date. I mean, if this is someone that you're planning on being with, like, I'm attracted to you physically, so obviously that's a go. Why not get to the point? I mean, the last two relationships I was in, that was exactly our first date. Matter of fact, the girl that I'm seeing now, our first encounter was me with a napkin going over her financial situation, which is one of the reasons I agreed to date her in the first place. So credit, FICO, what are your goals? All that stuff is going to come out. Why wait 3 months and sleep with him and have sex with him just to find out he ain't shit or she ain't shit or they're not trying to do nothing? I mean, if you want the booty, cool, do it. But if you want to be with this person, I tend to get that stuff out of the way early, just to cut through the chase. Because, the relationship is going to get boring, sex going to wear off. And at the end of the day, it's going to be what you have in common and your business, financial, family goals. So why not just get right to it?
All right. So, BJ, what's going on with you?
Not much. How's everybody doing?
We're doing well.
I'm loving the conversation. It's interesting.
Me too. What's on your mind?
People don't communicate. You need to talk to that person and find out who that person is. I know people got mad bank in their pocket and will not spend a nickel to save their life. If you know that person is like that, then if they're complaining about the meal, I'm like, that's just who they are. But pass me that steak and can I get a side of shrimp with that? It's not going to bother me. And if they get too crazy, here, I got a card. Do you need me to pay for yours? Goodbye. Have a good life, because I'm going to have a good time regardless. And then on the opposite end, if you know what she likes, she's high end, she expects the best of everything, then you can't be taking her to McDonald's and getting no Happy Meal.
I mean, you said a mouthful.
Well, let me ask you this, BJ, real quick. If she's from the neighborhood, right, and you guys were raised middle class or whatever, because you have a lot of people, men and women, that have these extravagant tastes, but only have a bubblegum budget. I mean, should that person still have that type of taste, knowing that?
Yeah, because if that's their taste, that's their taste. I mean, I know people who got mad pockets and they go for the Happy Meal at McDonald's when they got a coupon. So, I mean, that's just who that person is. So one don't deserve it more than the other, but it's up to you to say, this type of energy, I'm not into, she gonna have to find somebody else to pay for her meal. Oh, his karma is all off. It's just messing with my zen. He gonna have to find another chick who's more interested in this, because there's somebody for everybody. But I'm not going to put my expectations on you and lower it because that's where you comfortable and vice versa. I don't expect you to throw your expectation on me, and I have to, lower myself to make you feel comfortable, because that's just what's the point of me sitting here? Because I could then go to the next table and say, bring me up. Just now I want an extra side of shrimp because he just pissed me off.
And I kind of think that's what the young lady in the video that we saw at the beginning, I think that's kind of where she was going with it. If you guys didn't see the video, it was a young woman who went out on a date with a guy she met on Tinder, I guess, and he complained about the cheese being $3. And she left the date, but she paid the meal before she left. Text him and says, I paid the meal, don't worry about it. But then she blocked them because I think it had a lot to do with expectations. I mean, I could kind of see her point is that you complaining over $3 cheese. Well, what else are you going to complain about in the future? You know, especially on the first date. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm
But
wrong.
but it had to be his energy as well, because I would sit up there because I'm not a youngin anymore, and I'm like, oh my God, this is this much that I remember when. Now, if he's doing it, laughing, joking, whatever, that's one thing. But I know people who got money in their pocket, and they're like, how much is this? And it just throws the whole. I'm on a date. I done got my pretty dress on, pounded my makeup on my face, just came from the salon and spent X amount of dollars on that just to sit across from you, and you bringing my energy. I could have sat at home in my jammies and had a better time.
Yeah, and I agree with you. If you're on a date, you know, and you don't feel like going on a date, or for whatever reason, just cancel the date. But I wouldn't want nobody sitting across from me and they grumpy, or maybe, you know what I mean? Like the energy is bad. It's like, because that's more work than I want to do. I want to come out to the date, be cute, you know, kiki, ha ha, get to know you a little bit. But I don't want to be, oh, what's wrong? Is everything okay? Oh, cheer up, Charlie. It's not that bad. I don't want to do that.
And then if you're crying over $3 cheese, then how are you gonna pay for the gas going in the car, which is now $4 a gallon? So it's the cheese, and it's the house, and you're gonna be complaining about. Some people just love to complain.
Yeah, and that might have just been his personality, but maybe she was like, yeah, I'm good on that, you know. So I don't know. It'd be interesting to have a conversation with her to see exactly what was going through her mind. Yeah, El Boogie, don't kill my vibe. We coming out here, we got to smell good on. We put on our best clothes. Yeah, I combed my hair, took my bonnet off. I'm just playing, but for real though. And then you out there acting funky. No. I don't need another project, brother. Because I want to come out here and have a good time too. You know what I mean?
Wasn't there a movie based on that with Chris Rock where, you know, they were like, how much is a rib? And the rib was like $2. He's like, oh, that's a lot of money. But it's like, I'm going to get you, sucker. I think it was.
I think it was.
Yeah. And then he was like, give me one rib. And it was like $1.89 or whatever. And he came out with a big wad of money. So I could get BJ's point when she said that. So
absolutely. And
if he was on 5 Tinder dates that week, then just tell me. This is my 5th date. My pocket's getting a little low. I mean, okay.
Exactly. Just be upfront. And Arneba says, when I got serious about who I dated, my first date would be at my place or hers. Us watching.
I don't know about that one.
He said, us watching the Farrakhan video. I got me a great wife using that strategy. You know what? I wouldn't be mad at watching the Farrakhan video on the first day. I don't know. Maybe we have to do it.
But maybe in 1984, but this is 2022. You might not be watching anything afterwards.
Yeah, but I'm saying, we have to maybe meet at the library or something.
And watch that video.
Do you know how sexy that would be if a man say, hey, I like you. Let's go watch a Farrakhan video. I'd be like, oh, I'm with it. I want to be.
Well, that's when you break out your old those portable DVDs and sit in your car and watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, Walter, you're back. I see you in your son. I thought maybe you melted or something.
No. My internet went out. I think or it could be too hot in here for my phone. But
that's what it is.
Yeah, so we gotta lose some weight. So it's gonna have to deal with it. But no, you know, it's funny. It's funny. The last 2 women that I dated and date, both of them on the first date, both of them bought the meal on the first date. Believe it or not, which I thought was really cool and really got my attention because 1, I like a woman that could do for self, and 2, I always say.
Walter, you gonna have to get on out the sauna because your phone is like, nah, I don't like it up in here. So maybe if you get on your computer, come out the sauna, come back on the show because we need to hear what you have to say. So yeah, his sauna ain't having it. Rashad, how you doing? It says Cheap Pete from In Living Color. Okay, that was a character. All right, so let me see here. I'm actually about to put something else up. And BJ, I want your opinion on this in just a second. Let me read these comments. How you doing, Tanya? And you said, singing Tony Braxton, just be a man about it. Okay. Common Man says, open space dating on a first date is the best. Then you can really find out about the person, like a movie, carnival, amusement park, barbecue, etc. then you know what you got or you're getting. Yeah, something, an open setting that's not too intimidating. You know, I like that. Let's see here. And Sunlight says,
But also, you need to really communicate, talk long before that first date. Get the vibe of what this person is before you go out, because then you know what they like and don't like. Then you know what kind of setting. We're going to the movies because I know your game ain't good and our personality is going not gel, but I need a free date tonight. So let's go get some popcorn and check this out. And you can go home afterwards and I can do the same.
absolutely. Walter, your internet better? Why are you on your
I think so. I think it's in my internet. No, I'm on my phone, but I'm gonna hop on my computer. I think my internet wants to move to Houston.
Oh, for real? Yeah, get on your computer, and then we can, because everybody wants to hear your opinion and what you have to say. So hop on your computer real quick and come on back.
Yeah, all right. It's gonna be brief. All right.
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna take you off of here so you can come back. All right, so I'll wait for him before I put up the other subject. It's a really short one. Let's see who else came on here. Rain Love, how are you doing? And Moni says one thing that we need to stop doing is setting the standards for women when a lot of these men cheat from the start. I'm really tired of somebody feeling because you have a nice taste that's something wrong. I totally agree with you. I don't think there's anything wrong with you having a nice taste or expensive taste. However, I think the problem comes in when you expect everybody else to afford your expensive taste, right? And speaking of Farrakhan, you know, Farrakhan, he had a videos years ago where he was admonishing women. He says, you know, your man ain't making a lot of money. Stop riding him to death to buy you this and buy you that, and you know he can't afford it. He says, why would you want your man out there working 2 and 3 jobs to buy you stuff that you know you can't afford? He basically says, be quiet and help him, you know, with the money he is bringing in until he does better. But he said, I wouldn't put up with a woman who would have me out there working to pay for her expensive taste when she know I don't have it. And that's a word right there, you know, as a man. See, that's the problem, though. This is where we're going to get into trouble, BJ. I think we're going to get into trouble, or maybe just me.
Well, I mean, but eggs is $9 a dozen. So, I mean, just breakfast and some hash browns is going to hit your pocket. So it's like,
but look,
nobody's going to do steak and lobster every week. That's too much. But every once in a while, maybe not on the first date, but somewhere decent, you know, you say $30 on a meal and like let that person know, you know, my pockets or whatever, you get a feel for, because again, on the flip side, people think, oh, you use me for my money, blah, 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 blah. But if you set parameters and you see where that person's headspace is at, then you know, oh, she's not that kind of person. Now, if you want that eye candy and them nice stilettos, then pull out them cards.
And that's where I was going with that. Like, this is why I have an admonishment for some of you men. Now, y'all, I'm talking about the ones over there. Some men, y'all see these women, especially on the internet. They got these high-end purses and they got the hair and the nails. And we're going to get into that in just a second. Hair, the nails, and the clothes, and y'all chasing behind them. Now, y'all can see from that young lady or older woman that she like nice things. And if she's out of your league, y'all don't care. Y'all max out all your credit cards. You spend all this money pursuing her. And then when she comes to you and say, oh, no, I'm not wearing no Payless shoes. You got me messed up. Then y'all want to be mad, talking about she trying to run my pockets, but it's like you kind of pursued her that way, you know, whining and dining her with stuff you couldn't afford. So that's kind of on y'all.
And Demetra, they don't want her to stop looking like that either. Right. So now they want her to pull out her own pockets so she can keep that standard up.
Right.
Exactly.
Well, one thing I have to disagree with Moni. We got to stop with this narrative that men cheat and stuff. It's been proven that women cheat just as much as men. So it's really a washout on both sides. So we got to stop that narrative that make it seem like men are the only ones that cheat. It's been proven. Paternity fraud is 100% on the woman, but it's been proven that women cheat just as much.
But
as
if
men.
a man isn't going there, then he won't have to worry about the paternity fraud.
That's without saying. I was just reinforcing my point. Women cheat just as much as men.
I want to be clear. She didn't say cheat. She said cheap. She never said nothing about cheating.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought she said cheat. I'm sorry. Sorry.
She did. So because I was like, did she say something? But I reread it. So she said cheap, not cheap. So Walter, we got you now, brother. What's up?
Yeah, my internet's working better. What I was saying, I was talking about the last person, 2 people I dated, they paid for the first date, which I thought was good because it let me know that they can handle themselves. Plus, they already kind of knew, we knew a little bit about each other. So they knew that I could pay. And I think that's probably why they paid, to show that they were independent. You know, they could, the popular thing is now, I don't need a man, I can do it on my own. And they both feel that way, which is probably why they were single, but it's a whole nother story. So I don't mind having a woman pay in the beginning. You know, obviously as it goes on, being a natural man, you end up paying for most of the stuff anyways. But if a woman's going to pay in the beginning, ain't nothing wrong with that. I mean, because it always goes our way. And if women really want equal rights, then they have to be equal at the table, right? Or what's that? Do for self versus independent. I think they're the same, really. I mean, a woman, okay, well, you know what? Maybe they're not. When I think of a woman that can do for self, I mean, she can handle on her own. So when the 2 of us get together, we can do more together. Versus the new independent word means I don't need a man, I don't need nothing. And that gets women in a lot of trouble. They end up single, alone, 50 playing with 2 cats and a chili bowl haircut because you feel like I don't need a man. Yes, you do. You do need a man, right? I need a woman. So no one likes being alone unless, maybe there's a couple of you, if you real true, Donovan, you got cats, you got women all over the world. You don't like being alone. So I really think it's good, going back to my original point, is to find out where you stand financially. Because I'm not dating a woman for the booty no more. I mean, I got a massage parlor next to my house. It's $80 for the whole thing. Why would I spend $200 on a meal if all I want is sex? You know what I'm saying? And women, you guys need to understand that. Men these days, I'm going to say this shit. Don't hold it against me. Men that are about their stuff, they have way too many options. All my boys that are single, they got so many options. They have a little money and they're saving and they're investing in real estate and they're doing things that a woman can say, oh, he's invested for my future. I can see myself with this dude in 10 years because he's making moves that's going to take care of me later. So a guy that's doing that has a bunch of options, and women are even to the point where they would know you have a woman and still try and slide in. And it's very popular. Matter of fact, a lot of our hip-hop culture.
Then my question is, if a man is doing all that, why is it an issue with a woman being independent? I'm still trying to figure out this whole mindset, because many women don't want to be independent, but when you're young and you're getting out of school and you're seeing the options and you don't want Roy Ray and Pookie, those options go down. Then so many brothers are on the other side and I don't, date Black women. I want every other kind of women. So your dating pool is down. So you finding somebody decent, has the same sort of mindset, goals and aspirations as you, then you want to flip it and say, well, you too independent. Well, that independence is paying my rent. The independence is paying my car note. That independence is putting food on my table. But because now you're able to do all these things, nobody wants you.
I want you. I like that. I mean, shit, don't get it twisted. And this is not coming out of need. See, any moment that I spend with somebody, I go, am I getting something from this? Is this going to help build our future? Or are we just kicking it, which I don't enjoy doing? So a woman that's independent, has her own money, has her own stuff, that I enjoy. And then we can get together and do things together. That's what I mean. So
well, I mean, and I only want to say the problem I think with us nowadays is we see everything on a surface level, superficial, and you never getting to know that person. Who are you? Who am I sitting across from? What are your mindset? What are your goals? What are your aspirations? What is your likes? What are your dislikes? How is your relationship with other women? How is your relationship with your brothers and sisters? How is your relationship with your family? What are your values? And then
I
we
can
want to
help you
dump
with
it
that.
on into independence when it's really the person is just
I can help you with that. First of all, I don't. If let's say I was going to start dating again, I would one ask for their social media. Everybody I meet, regardless of what we're trying to
But
do together.
social media is anything I type on a computer. I can make myself be the Queen of England. Now that she's gone, I probably can claim I'm the Queen of England. But who I am in real life is something totally different.
Well, no, but you can find out a lot about a person on their social media. Not
Social
everything.
media is a image. This is the image I want to put forward. This is the image that's getting me likes. This is the image that's getting me. This is the image that's getting me paid. So I'm playing a role. That's not who I am.
I'm gonna answer your question. I can answer it. I can tell you how to do it, and I can cut you ladies, save you a whole bunch of time. Their social media, yeah, for a lot of people it's a front, but you can still learn a lot of people on their social media. Do they have family? Do they spend time with their family? The girl that I dated, she goes, I am all over your social media. I see your kids everywhere, your family, your kids are in every other shot, your grandkids. So she was like, you appear to be a family man, which is true. Now, of course, I know you can be fake on social media, but like, can you fake everything? Like, for instance,
but even with that, can you expose who you are?
I mean,
it's going to show certain things, but it's not really going to show you who this person is. And I only say that because I know people. They're the kindest, sweetest people on the planet. And then when you start peeling that onion back, you better run fast. Well, and it doesn't take long before you figure that out. So they put on the front, and then who they really are is like, oh my God.
Well, that's everybody. I don't care if you do NASA research and you have J. Edgar Hoover look in their background, you still gonna be kicking it with an onion. So that ain't gonna never fix itself. So we can stop trying to peel back the onion.
Well, no, I'm just saying with social media, we put too much value on these images that are not real. And that's all I'm trying to say. They're not real. You don't know a person until you're with a person. You don't know a person until you in Walmart and the cashier is a little slow and this person is going on 1,000 on the cashier because you didn't give me my penny back as change.
Well,
it's in those moments that you see their true character. But on social media, they're all together and then look at them volunteering at blah blah blah, and they're just everything's so wonderful.
I think we got off on the wrong foot. I'm not saying social media is the catch-all. I'm saying it's the first step. It's one of 20 things that I do. Like say, so I was gonna meet a woman. Let's say I was gonna date you, right? I would go on your Instagram, Facebook. I would go on your Twitter. I would go everywhere. I would Google your name. Everything. I would take your phone number and I would do a reverse directory, which you can do. And I did that to the girl that I'm seeing now. I ran a reverse directory on her. And so you can, I'm talking about a woman that I want to spend the rest of my life with, not just some side booty, some pootie tang. I don't need a Facebook background check for that. That's one night. So Facebook, those things, like for instance, I'm going through my Facebook this morning and I see a couple of my friends, not girlfriends, but friends that are girls. All they do is cobble, party, drink. So I stopped following them and I deleted one. I said, she ain't shit. All she do is hang out with her girls and drink and party. Ain't no real man trying to be attracted to that. Like, up front is happy hour at El Torito. Ain't no man, I ain't trying to be waiting up on you all night. And you ain't got no money.
And the only thing I'm saying about that is, again, and that's why I keep pushing on social media, is what we don't do is a lot of times show who we are.
I agree.
We jump on whatever the hottest thing right now. With everybody going down to Mexico, Cabo, Costa Rica. Oh, these are the things I need. And if you look at those pictures, they're carbon carpet of each other picture. Only thing different is the date stamp.
Let me.
So we just emulate each other instead of being who we really are.
Let me jump in here a little bit. So I see both sides of the argument as far as social media. I always say the internet is not real, and that you're listening to people give you advice, and you like, how do you know, right? You should do your own research and other things like that. But I will say the internet does expose people for who they are, and they don't really tell the truth of who they are. Now, what I mean by that is, take for example, you go on a job interview. Y'all know a lot of jobs nowadays, they're like, let me have your social medias, or, we'll see what you're up to. And some of them just do independent checks, and they see that you out partying all the time, or you doing some questionable things that may not represent their company, whether it's right, whether it's real or not, they judge you on that. Now, what I say is, as far as some people, that's not who they really are, because we know on the internet, people can be whoever they want to be. They got these fabulous lifestyles. They got these big sprawling house on the sprawling estates and these cars and this, that, and the other. But what they ain't telling you is that sprawling estate actually is their mama house. That truck or that car they driving, it's 30 years old. And, they ain't telling you all the things. And I tell y'all, even if it's not, see, this is kind of how I see social media. Social media is a vehicle for liars to do more of lying. I told you a long time ago when I was in my 20s, I was dating this guy. He told me that he, worked at a school and he is a teacher. Come to find out, the Negro was a crossing guard at a school. Now, he kind of told the truth, but he lied. You know what I mean? So I don't think the internet is going to make somebody be something they're not. But yeah, the internet is a vehicle for people to lie and to kind of mask who they really are. Because how many times have we met somebody in person that we knew on the internet, and you're like, where is the person that I saw on the internet? The person that was just full of life and they had it all going on, and then they show up and they're like, wow, I could have had a V8.
Now listen to what you just said. Now, and women, you guys do this, and I don't even think my sister did it consciously, but a lot of women do this. The beginning things that we talk about with men is his occupation. And I think that's why a lot of women struggle. A lot of women are single, is because we lead with occupation and what they do. And I see some comments on here about man's money, high value man. Y'all need to cut all that out. If you got a good man and he make $25,000 a year, the question you should be asking this dude is he saving money? Is he responsible? Because you can make $30,000 a year and still, depending on where you live, do well or have a side hustle. Especially when you leave California, start going east, you can do a lot of that stuff. And like if you make $30,000, your woman make $30,000, that's $60,000 in Houston, Texas. That's a nice lifestyle. So,
but let me say this though. So I'm not one of those people that's like, you have to be working a white collar job and all that. Listen, I just need you to, at this point in the game of 51 years old, I just need you to at least be able to take care of yourself. And like you said, we can put what I got and what you got together and make a nice life, right? But the point that I was making about the crossing guard story is I didn't ask him that. He told me that he worked at a school as a teacher. I'm like, okay, I'm with it. Then
he's teaching kids how to cross the street.
Okay, but he could have just said that. So it's like he found shame in him being a crossing guard. And so then it's like you lied to me about it. And then when I find out you're a crossing guard, I was more let down that he lied, not necessarily that he was a crossing guard. Because let's be honest, we were in our young 20s. So I guess, crossing guard is it's an admirable job. Somebody needs to get the children across the street. But you ain't got a lot to kick it. You're not a teacher. You're a crossing guard. And we need them.
But if he told you he was a crossing guard, would you have dated him?
I would have. Because I was. Wait. Listen. Y'all know listen.
Yes or no answers, please.
Wait, it's hot up in here. It's hot. But let me keep it real with y'all. Okay. I was in my 20s. I was in my young 20s. And I would have dated him because I wasn't all that astute when it comes to dating. I thought he was cute. He had a little thug in him and all of that. So I was like, okay, he cute. I was young 20s though. So yeah, I probably would have dated him. But for me, him telling me that he was a crossing guard, I'm like, he was a teacher and he was really a crossing guard.
It's like, if you lie for something simple, then what else are you going to lie to me about?
Yeah, because did you think I would not ever find out that you were a crossing guard? Like, what are we doing here?
That's wrong. Yeah, that's a lie. You should just move on to the next dude. If a guy's lying about his occupation and all that stuff,
and again, a lot of women, we date various type of guys. We're not, there's some who just, this type is the only type I want to deal with. So a lot of times we understand the struggle. So we're not saying, oh, you're not a PhD astrophysicist, I can't waste my time on you. You're beneath me. The ones who are doing that is not the average woman that I know.
Ooh, yeah. But back to the dinner.
Well, can I say this? When it comes to this dynamics of the women and the men, and the dating thing and the money aspect of it, American women have really got to really get real. And I say this all the time, even when I go overseas. If you make $60,000, you're in the top 20% of the people in the world. And so when I hear American women talk about, especially our women talk about, oh, a man's got to make six figures. It's unrealistic when the statistics show the median income of Black men in the United States is $40,000. So like Walter said, and it's not like a manosphere thing or nothing like that. I have to agree. If a man is making $30,000 and he's a good man, you guys should consider a guy like that. But these unrealistic expectations of what you want, there's nothing wrong with what you want, but you also got to understand how men think. We don't care about your money. We don't care about your degrees. All these Black women have all these degrees, which is great, but you also have all the debt, the majority of the debt. So, we're talking about, realistic expectations when it comes to finding mates. But
the other problem is, we always want to blame everything on Pookie and Ray Ray. But Pookie and Ray Ray ain't the only one who came into her life, lied, here's another baby mama, never showed up, never, stepped up. Something going on, you standing by yourself. So her expectations gets higher because now you have to, rightfully or wrongfully, now you have to jump the hurdles that they built.
And most guys are saying we're not doing that anymore. We're not doing it.
But the problem is most guys wasn't doing it at all. And the women are saying, you know what, if I can't at least have one level of respect and decency, I'm out. Because women have lowered their expectations of men for a long time.
Hold up. Don't overtalk the hosts. Would you agree that it is not another man's responsibility to take care of another man's child? Would you agree with that?
Oh shit! The party started.
No, I don't. No, because. Again,
so you think another man has to take care of another man's child?
Into that statement says, was it my responsibility to take care of another man's child? Because he's sitting there, he's not stepping up, but the children still need it. They still need shoes. They still need clothes.
Absolutely.
Someone there. So I'm stepping in, and they're not even my kids.
So you're saying that another man should take care of a responsibility of another man's child?
Women take the responsibility of other women's and men's children all the time.
No, that ain't the question I asked you.
Well, no, if it was right for one, it's right for the other. Now,
Okay,
if you love, respect,
nature,
and care for that woman, and she's not 14 years old,
that isn't what I asked. What I'm saying is most men's nature. Unless she's 14 years old. Mm. Then she's not been with anyone else. So when you get in your 20s, see, I never had the problem with that one because I'm like, these are grown people. They've been in relationships, out of relationships, some work, some don't work. I almost expect every man to have a child, a mother, ex, or whatever floating around in their world. It's going to be unbelievable that they're going to be. It's very rare to see a man with no children, never been married. So if I'm going to sit up there and say, oh, I expect you, and some people do. I'm not going to do nothing for your children. I don't want the children around me. But that's wrong, because if you're taking that person, you're taking that whole person. You're not taking just pieces of that person. Right. Okay, but here's the problem.
And if you're going to commit to that person and live with that person, then you have to take on those responsibilities.
Hold on. Here's the problem. That's the way a woman thinks. A man does not think that way. Then
he doesn't need to be with that woman. He needs to find someone with no children.
And that's somebody with no kids. That's what I would do. I mean, if I like her enough, I'm taking care of the kids. I mean, she is the package. They are part of the package. And honestly, I probably prefer a woman with older kids because she's less likely to be running the streets. I mean, that's just me though.
Sure. No, and it's not an argument. What I'm saying is because of some of the decisions that these that we're making as adults in our generation, especially in our generation, that has happened, we were given wrong and misinformation in regards to how we deal with relationships. Thus, you have this big divide between men and women. The women have been given wrong information, and men have been given wrong information and not taking care of their responsibilities. It's just as simple as that. But the nature of a man, no man, even in, and I know Demetra gets on me about this, even in the animal kingdom, when a lion mates with a new female that has cubs, he kills the cubs. Because
you telling him to kill the kids?
No, not. We're talking about animals. What we're talking about is the nature of men is not to take care of other men's children. That's just the nature of men. I'm not saying it doesn't happen in our situation.
But if that's the nature, then why are they with women who have children? Well, I mean, some of them there because they're looking for a roof to go up under when they're,
Correct.
But if that's not your nature, why are you going against it? Why are you being with women who have children?
Again, I can't answer for everybody. I'm just telling you, most men, if you ask most men, they do not want to take care of other men's children. That's just the nature of it.
Oh yeah, and I get that, but that's probably one of our biggest problems is we're constantly going against our nature. Stop compromising who you are. If you don't want to be bothered with somebody with some kids, don't talk about the one with no kids. Just don't be bothered with her. And go find out, because there's billions of people on this planet. Go find what makes you happy. Go find that if you're controlling and you want to take care of the home and it's your rules and all this other stuff, and you're that type of person and you like you got strict requirements of everything, there's plenty of people out there who could fit into that box perfectly.
Right.
Why would you go out there and get someone who's super independent, who don't want to be told what to do, and she fills certain parts of the package, but then you're not happy because she's constantly going against you.
Okay, wait a minute. Now I want you to listen to this. This goes back to what Walter was saying. A guy that makes $25,000, he's a good man. That probably will take those kids in the package. Even Walter said he would take a woman with the package. Most women don't want those guys. I think there was a thing with Michael B. Jordan. They called him corny. Wait. Let me finish. Michael B. Jordan, he was called corny and things of that nature. What we're saying is the decisions we're making as men and women is detrimental to ourselves as a community as a whole. So, I really do think women need to look at men that are making $30,000 and are considered squares. Those are most likely good men, but we have a lot of younger women that are coming up saying, I want a scammer, I want a thug, I want a this, I want a that. And it's putting them deeper into a situation. So a guy that's making
I think you sort of answered your question right there, because they're looking for this 20-year-old and not a mature woman who says, I like corny. I like to sit up there and just go down to the water and go fishing or whatever. There's plenty out there that they want, but the problem with men, it's not in the package that they want it in.
What's wrong with Michael B. Jordan? I understand the corny.
So what had happened was, while he was on the red carpet, of course, Creed came out and he was promoting Creed with Jonathan Majors, his co-star, whatever. A woman that he went to school with at high school back in the day, she was interviewing him. I don't know her name, but she brought up, oh yeah, we went to school together or something, my classmate. And he goes, oh yeah, the corny kid, right? He's kind of joking or whatever, but basically, I guess, when they were kids in school, her and a couple other people would call him corny and kind of pick on him, from what I understand. And now it's like, I'm who I am now. And so there's been a narrative running around that's what sisters, I guess, in general, do to men, Black men. We harass them when they're in school, they're a nobody or whatever. I'm not saying that, but just kind of throwing it for context. They're corny. And then when they come out to be somebody, it's like, hey, big head. So that's where that comes from. But I want to kind of jump in here a little bit. There's a lot that has been said. And I agree with Walter. You don't want to be with somebody with children? Don't be with somebody with children. But you know what the problem is? You see that woman. You see her big old booty. You see potential in you in her bed, in between her legs, and then you pretend to yourself, oh, I can deal with the children. Then when you get with the children, you go against what it is you wanted to do. Donovan, you said at the beginning, if you want a Mercedes, buy a Mercedes, don't get something else. That's the problem. People are not getting in the relationship they really want. They're trying to skirt the issue, right? So don't date anybody with children if you do not want that, right? And the other thing, as far as being called a corny women not wanting to date corny men, that ain't all women that say that. Hell, Walter tell you, my high school sweetheart was a nerd, and I loved it. I loved it. He was one of the smartest brothers at, we didn't go to the same school, but he was a very smart brother. He was on his hustle and grind. We met at McDonald's, and he was just a great boyfriend. He, died R.I.P. Great boyfriend. He was a nerd. I like nerdy men. So for y'all, and I'm gonna say y'all in the manosphere, y'all keep going on this narrative, black women don't like corny dudes. That ain't all black women. That was that silly woman and her friends back in the day when Michael B. Jordan. But hell, most women I know want a man on his square. And if he's not making a bunch of money, if we making some money together, let's put it together. But see, the problem is this, and I'm speaking for myself as a black woman. Sometimes it's hard to get a brother who wants to go build and let's go do something. You got a couple of coins. I got a couple of coins. You got good credit. I got good credit. Let's go buy something. Let's go build something. None of these brothers nowadays, not y'all, I'm talking about them over there. They don't want to do that. I'm good. And so for me, and I'm going to tell ladies or even men out there, if you see somebody who's fine and all that, and they don't want to be on the same page, they don't want to go do something in life, they're not a bad person. They just not your person. Let them go be with somebody who doesn't want to do anything. Now, no shade to them. And you go pursue somebody who does want to do things. And so I give this analogy a lot. I heard a psychologist say this once to a woman who was mad at her husband or her boyfriend at the time because he was a football fanatic. She wanted to go to the mall, and she wanted him to go to the mall. He was like, no, I'm staying home and I'm watching football. And the psychologist asked her, when is the last time you seen a bear with an antelope? And she's like, well, I never have. She said, that's the problem. You're a bear, he's an antelope, and you're trying to force him to do antelope things. If this man is telling you he is a bear and you're not, then stop pursuing bears. Go pursue antelopes who want to go and hang out at the mall with you instead of watching football. So be with the person that is more suitable for you. Now, I'm not saying look for perfection, because there's no such thing. Just try to find the person who is more aligned with the things that you want, and I think you'll be all right. I think.
Yeah, there's a lot of good men out there, but they're corny. And I've had women tell me that growing up, especially I had a bunch of women tell me that. Your clothes clash. They look like they came out the trash. Man, and the sad part is, and I'm not saying this is black women, but it was all black women when I was growing up. Sisters, y'all was cold, man. I'm not saying all black women do that, but I'm saying it probably because I was black, you relate to your own race. But man, those sisters were cold. And it's funny, some of them I do see, and they be like, ooh, can I get $1 now? You caught the vapors. It's too late now.
Yeah, but I look at a lot of times in high school, those kids were just awful. And once you get out of high school, their personalities totally shift. And those same people probably never remember anything they ever said to you, Walter. But you remember this. It's like, no, I don't want to be bothered with you. Because you have elevated yourself that, you're not even in the same realm as they are.
Right. The point I'm making is, and a kid is shaped. By the time a kid is 7 years old, most of his or her personality traits are there. You stay permanently. So 1, 2, I know some people do change after high school, but it's rare. They are the way they are, and when it comes to the corny guy, like that's the guy you want. The guy that's going to be home on time. You get off at 5, he's going to be home at 5:08. You know what I'm saying? He probably stopped by the store and got some food on the way, and he's still on time. He's not driving the whip for this. He's just like my neighbor. He's in construction or something like that. He's a good dude. He got a family, and his woman is like, I like having my man home. He's not Mr. Swag, but you know what? I got a man, and it's cool. Sometimes we just need to say, what can we do together? And the more swag a dude got, the more women he got. I promise you. You can't walk out the house all suited up, swagged out, Range Rover, everything hidden, and women ain't own you. Men are as faithful as their options. I was going
Well, and you're absolutely right, Walter, because I know a former coworker, he got divorced, and one of the other coworkers was telling him, "Look, man, you got to get rid of the minivan and go get you something nice." As soon as he got that nice car, boom, the women started floating at him. And he couldn't see what was coming at him, but he thought, "Oh, look at her, all this and that." Quit that job, went to another job. Oh, I'm building a new house. Sold the house that he had, which was a better house than the one he went to. But it's like his ego just started going crazy. I'm like, if she didn't want you in that minivan, then why would you want her now that you got this nice car?
Exactly. And that's the problem. Man, and it's funny because I drove a minivan for a long time. So a little red thing, Dodge Caravan. It was purple inside and out. I would love to go back to that minivan days with the money that I have made and the money that I make. If I can go back to that minivan mentality, oh, help me, Lord. And that's the problem. That's why I say on the first date, you talk about the money, the FICO score, where you at, where you going, where do you see yourself in 5 years, 10 years? I'm 75 years old. You 45 years old. What does our life look like? You know what I'm saying? Where are we going with this? Otherwise, what's the point? And that's what you need to do. Otherwise, you're gonna be chasing the wind. Time moves too fast to be goofing around. I'm on the first date, which means I like you, which means I'm past all that other stuff. Tell me where we're going. Are we buying a house this year together, buying some real estate so we can get you off of your job, so I can be with you in the morning the way I need to be without you having to punch a clock? Or are we going to just be out blowing money?
Sunlight. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no. That's why people need to know who they're dealing with and know I am compatible with you. Remove all the houses, the cars, the clothes, the bags with the names on it, and find out who that person is. Because what life goes up and it goes down. And you got to be able to weather that storm. And if I'm coming at you because you got a nice car, that means, am I interested in you, Walter? Or am I interested in the keys that you shaking in your hands?
Right. Yeah. Multiple property income keys. That's what you need to be looking for. Man, I'll tell you, you want to find out what somebody's doing, follow them through their day, find out what their interests are. Not you doing a first date. It's like, hey, like if you're interested in Bitcoin and this person isn't, then you're probably going to clash unless this person is open. If you're like with me, if I was going to date somebody again, I don't care how much money she makes. Is she trying to build? Is she trying to have a stable future? Because sex and all that stuff wears out. She'll put the heels on and the panties and let me put baby oil on her in the first couple of weeks and months. But after a couple of years, she don't feel like putting the heels on. And when she stops putting on the heels, do we still have something that we can fight over? Something that's worth being 90 on the bench holding hands? Well, we ain't freaking in the sheets, but we looking at what we built, our kids or stepkids or grandkids, whatever it is. Can we go there? That's what I think you should be talking to your man or your date about. Where are we going with this? Because obviously, yeah, I can have sex with her. Like you said, you walk into a bar and you look good and you got a few things jingling. Booty ain't nothing. Matter of fact, sometimes you get tired of it, Donovan, right? Sometimes you get tired of the booty. Just like booty rocking everywhere. You get tired of it. Give me a woman tell me where we're going to be. Because as I make my own money, having sex is not an issue. Booty is everywhere. And y'all women putting it on Instagram, social media, Facebook, TikTok. Y'all got your booty out, your cleavage out. I don't need porno magazines. I can just go to TikTok.
But on the flip side, Walter, in that statement, men have to understand if that's what they leading with, if they leading with that wallet with the keys jingling, and you at that bar, you think the nice little librarian sitting in the corner going to be able to get to you because all these I don't want to call them that, but I'll just say hoochies are going to be front and center showing themselves, and that's who you're going to walk out the door with. And then you're going to be mad because all she wanted was what was in your pocket.
No, hoochies get the
While
bull's
you're
ass.
not looking at that librarian who's maybe sitting in the back of the room just chilling her girls, you didn't give her any time.
See, that's the woman I look at. The woman in the back, the librarian. That's who I date. The hoochies up front, man. That stuff is exhausting. And a real man can see that stuff up front. Your woman up front, she all out loud. Look at me. Next, because she gonna do that no matter what, no matter where you are. I want the woman sitting in the back, cold chilling, because that's the woman I want to be married to, and that's the woman I want to be able to say, hey, she's going out with her girls tonight, and they ain't gonna be slapping no, doing nothing wild. That is the type of woman I want to be with. So she's chill. Now she can have a good time, but like I go to her social media page and she's in Vegas every other weekend acting a fool. She ain't the one. And I think women do lead with their money because animals do that. Tigers, I'm not saying I'm gonna kill the kids, but animals do that too. They'll shake a tail feather or whatever. They'll use their quality, show off. That's just our nature, right? So I don't know if you can stop men from doing that because we do want to present our best. If I have a nice suit, I'm going to put it on. If I have a Range Rover, I'm going to drive that and not the van because I want to impress you.
But you got to get beyond the surface and find out who the person is.
That's what the first date's for.
Absolutely. Sunlight, come back on. Yeah, I have you up on the screen, but I don't know. You didn't have a picture, but we did see you on. That you tried to come on the screen. So come on again, if you can. I'm just looking at some of these comments. Thunder, you crazy. Thunder likes the women that are really seasoned. He talking about some of the questions he asks is, do you have an AARP card? Do you own or wear slips? He like them old, like Gertrude old, the Virginia Slim old, the grease on the can on the stove.
Does she own a hot plate?
Yeah, and a hot cone. And Brother Jonell, how you doing? I didn't acknowledge you verbally. I see you making a lot of great points on there. I want to put something up, but Lord, I'm scared we're going to be here another 13 hours. But I'm going to put it up here anyway. God be with us all. Here we go. There's no sound to it, so try to read it, and then I'll play it again. It's not very long. Here we go. Pay attention. Did y'all need me to play that again, or did y'all get the point?
Oh, we got it.
Point. That black dress was hot. That's fine. See, that's a 4th date dress. And between y'all, that's some shit you wear to bed. But I see women on TikTok dressing like that. That's why
men are visual. We are visual creatures.
She coming straight to the house. She might go to the back of the minivan. She ain't gonna make it to the house wearing that dress. And if you wearing that dress out, you think you're gonna get a real man, good luck. You're gonna get a real good time.
2 minutes. Let's keep it real, y'all. Y'all got about 2 minutes in you. Anyway.
No, with that kind of dress on, all you need is one.
But guess what? That is the best 2 minutes of her life. That is the most intense 2 minutes of her life.
Where you gonna sit at? You can't sit down.
She don't need to sit down. She just needs to lay down.
The premise of that video is women are not listening to you men. When we hear you say y'all don't like the eyelashes, the weaves, and the provocative clothing, and then it says taking care of another man's kids, I guess maybe he meant that we don't want to take care of another man's kids. I don't know, like how could she ignore that? What's she supposed to do with the kids? I don't know. But I guess the premise is we're not listening to y'all and the things that you guys say you like and you don't like. So Walter and Donovan, what say you?
I don't like fake eyelashes. I've never seen a girl's eyelashes. I was telling my friend the other day, she goes, I'm getting my eyelashes done. I said, men don't recognize eyelash. And if you're dating the kind of man that needs you to have those long eyelashes, you need to question his sexuality and if he like you or not. Maybe Billy Porter would recognize those eyelashes. And a lot of that stuff, the Brazilian butt lifts. Ladies, please stop it. I mean, come on. You gonna get some implants, get chest implants. You know, at least that's something we can see, and those kind of look real. Not the black with a booty. Some of y'all are gonna have booties on the side. Booty gonna be swinging around. You gonna be, oh, excuse me, that's my booty. Y'all better cut that out. Now, as far as being provocative, like that black dress is hot, but that's something you wear in an intimate setting. You know, and I like a woman to look hot, but like you don't want dudes being like, damn, look at that. Woo. Like, come on, ladies, and you can't be real that you're gonna get a real good man out there with your inner thigh showing. You know what I'm saying? Even Jennifer Lopez, she probably have second thoughts putting on that dress. And if that's the way you are, just know you're going to get what you're going to get. You're not going to bring home a family man because he ain't going to take you out to his mama and you got your inner thigh showing. You know, and if you don't believe it, keep trying because I guarantee you that lady in that dress do not have a man at home in there unless there's some dudes that like that, but he probably got 20 of you, or he's a hostage. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my opinion.
Donovan?
Well, you know, I get told constantly, oh, he hate his mama. You know, he hate black women, all this other stuff. And whenever a black woman comes to me, and I'm specifically talking about black women, my people, my women, when they tell me, oh, I hate black women, I'm not the one that has fake hair. I'm not the one that has lashes. I'm not the one that has a fake booty. I'm not the one. It's kind of, it's hypocritical how you can say I hate black women, but a lot of black women are looking everything but like a black woman. So, you know, I take it with a grain of salt. But again, men have been saying this for years. We don't like this. We don't like that. We don't like this. We don't like that. It has gotten to a point now. I can't tell a woman from a drag queen unless I do a reach around. You know, it's very hard to tell at this point. You know what I mean? So it's, you know, and yes, ladies, you could do what you like. You could do what you want. You could do with this. But this is what the men have been talking about. If a woman like that is dressed provocatively, I don't know any married man that I'm aware of that lets his wife go out there looking like that. I don't know any married man that does that. Maybe you guys do. I'm just saying personally, I don't. And the thing is,
don't.
Yeah. And the thing is, you know, I know you ladies want to be in, you know, oh, you know, express yourself, whatever. I don't know any man that is married to a woman that lets his wife go out looking like that. It looked good, though. Don't get me wrong. It looked very attractive.
It's worth a night or two. You know what I'm saying? You might introduce her to your boys on poker night. You know what I'm saying? But she's not meeting my parents. And I know that's kind of old fashioned. You know, women, you wanted equal rights. You got it. You want to be equally as freaky. You got it. But let me tell you, that is destructive because when the man disappears from the table, it's a wrap. You know, and I hear some of these celebrities are now coming out and saying, yeah, you do need a father. Yeah, the man is important. Like, and what happened to like, that's my woman and only I see it.
Can I reference my dear brother Jonell? He says, because men are giving mixed signals, chasing the craven beyond costume. But once that bait, aka trap, gets in the guy, he's fighting to get up off the hook. Says because he doesn't like the costumes, but the meat underneath that he sees. And so I think he has a point there. Because I was thinking the same thing as you gentlemen were speaking. Now, I know there's a lot of women who wear it because they like it or whatever the case is. But then there's a lot of women who do it for y'all. And I'm not saying it's your fault. I'm not saying it's your fault, but if they do it, there a lot of them are doing it for y'all because
yes.
Yeah, that's not it. Because Walter actually sent me something today, and he was pretty taken aback by it. Some woman on Facebook was speaking very disgustingly about what she would do and all this other stuff. And he says, this is kind of why we're doomed. And I said, yeah, and the other unfortunate part is I didn't see not one man in the comment section shunning her, saying, I would never, you're not my type. They were all propositioning her. Oh, what's your number? And I would love to do it. And so it's like, that attention she was getting is kind of like fueling again. I'm not blaming men for that because the behavior belongs to her, but I guarantee you that will go down to a very, very, very low minimum if men were like, nope, I'm not paying you no attention. I want a woman that's a little bit more modest that has a little bit of clothes on, cover her bits, and she's not speaking disgustingly on the internet.
Well, Demetra, I'm gonna have to disagree with you because most of that stuff is women are doing that stuff to compete against other women. Nobody's asking these women to get these BBLs. For the men. No, nobody's asking these women to go get BBLs. They see their girlfriend gets it, then they want it, and then they get the eyelashes and all that other stuff. It's mostly, to me, in my opinion, women are doing that to compete against other women. It has nothing to do with. I don't believe it has to do with men.
It has everything to do with men. If the problem is a certain group, and I'll just say alpha, just to try to get a little subgroup. With that alpha man, because it started like in the 80s, and the women just sort of fell off the, well, we all know what was going on in the 80s. But that became the image. Oh, if I do this, if I look this way, if I behave this way, all the men were giving them the attention. So the other women say, well, this is what they got to do to get the attention. Then they start jumping on board. And that's where we are right now, because they're seeing what is being the lead and what's getting that attention. And so let me put a fake eyelashes. Let me do, because why we do the BBL? I don't even get that. It sounds insane. It sounds crazy, but all of a sudden people cutting themselves as if they're getting a Band-Aid. Oh, let me go get this surgery for this and this surgery for that and this surgery for that. When they don't need none of this stuff. And unless the men start changing the bar on what they're attracted to, the women are not going to start changing this. And because the men are attracted to this, not saying all men, this is why they're putting the lashes. This is why they're putting all the tats in. This is why they're putting the BBL. What other piece of plastic gets stuffed in my body, putting their life at risk because you're getting surgery. But it's worth it because I don't even know what they're getting, but this is what they're doing.
What man has ever said, I want to see a girl in a BBL? I don't know one man.
And what average man has a wife that looks like that?
But you go, for example, it's the summertime, and I go to the old folks area where it's quiet and you see the birds and the books and all that and the kids running around. Now, if I go into the area where all the young people are going, I went downtown, and these girls had to be probably in high school, and they were really pretty, but they were dressed like they were coming out of a club, and I had everything like popping out and all this other stuff, and I'm like, is this what it's coming to? But they going down there looking for the dudes to, hey, can we hook up? Can I get your number? So they think this is what they got to look like to go get somebody's number, because now they're competing against everybody else. Where back in the day, they did not, they had on their little designer jeans and a little cute little top, maybe a small little heel, and that's all they needed to do. So it's getting you guys attention, and that's why they're doing it. If the guys weren't giving these women the attention, the other women wouldn't say, oh, this is the standard, this is what we got to do. And unfortunately, corporate America is making major bank on airfare, on lashes, on purses, on everybody's getting rich off of this, but us.
But let me ask you this question. What average man has a wife or a girlfriend that looks like these things?
I know several. I know several.
There's a lot of men who have women.
And a lot of them are living in very nice, well-groomed communities at that.
Well, again, I come from a military background, and like I said, I can't tell you anybody in my circle of friends that have wives that look like that.
Oh yeah.
Now maybe they look like that sometimes, get dressed up. I can see once in a while. It depends on the environment too. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, that dress is a lot. I mean, I wouldn't want to be out with that woman unless I just wanted to be out with her. And when I was younger, I've taken women out and be like, yo, she bad, check this out. But it's like, when I'm through with her, I'm going to toss her to you. That was my attitude. So then I don't care what she's wearing. Right. So, but as far as, like, or sometimes it's just good. That's for the bedroom, or maybe once in a while. There's nothing wrong with being sexy. You know what I'm saying? My sister tell you, I dated a girl. Every time she came out the house, it was so tight. I wasn't sure if it was paint or what. But she wasn't. Her stuff wasn't out. You know what I'm saying?
But see, that's the problem. Also, is that 1980s, 1990s sexy is not the 2023 sexy. Everything has gone to the extreme. So now where it used to be like like low V-neck top with like the wraparound dresses, whatever, and you put some heels on, you looking all cute. Now that dress has to have a split all the way up to the hip. The V-neck got to go all the way to the navel. The back got to be all the way down to like the hip bone to be considered sexy, and it's ridiculous.
Then you guys are doomed, because I can tell you, when you lead with the booty like that, it fades quickly. And stop chasing those young women, those 23-year-olds. They're gonna get older. Can you imagine all that stuff's on the internet, all that freaking you doing, twerking, talking about I'm licking a lollipop. What one day you're gonna be 40, 50. I was gonna say you're gonna have kids, but you probably wouldn't. You're gonna be older and be like, damn, hey girl, ain't this you twerking on this lollipop in 2000?
No, Walter, it's gonna be the opposite. The problem is it's the opposite. They think that stuff is still cute. You got some old women doing this stuff.
There's a few old women doing it. And there are some out there, but not most old women ain't doing that. Most women at work, most women trying to keep their man.
I could tell you some stories, but to protect the innocent, I won't say it.
There's some women that do it, but most women aren't at home acting like that.
Let me address Brother Samuel. How are you doing today? He says, my grandfather would talk about women dressing like a woman trying to attract a man, and there being no need for a woman who has a man to dress like she's still trying to attract a man. And that is absolutely right. I wonder that too. If you got a man, why you on the internet, showing all your stuff like you're still trying to attract a man? And I always wonder what kind of man in their right mind will be with a woman and she all over the internet showing everything you can think of. And I follow people, on social media who are married, and I'm like, yo, man, cool with all of that. And Donovan, you made a comment. I want you to kind of, fill it out a little bit. You asked where'd it go? Here it is. What happened to the soft girl era? What is that, if you don't mind me asking?
That was an era. BJ, if you want to talk about it, if you know more about it than I do, please do.
I want you made the comment, okay, brother. I want you to
what I'm saying is, it seems like when one issue doesn't work, we switch to another issue. And I said we switched to another issue. The soft girl era was getting away from the angry black girl era. They're going to be softer, more listening, more trying to do what it is that so-called men want them to do, and kind of be more girly rather than being aggressive. That's what the soft girl era was, to my understanding. I could be wrong, but that's to my understanding. And that didn't last all of but a month and a half.
No, I don't think that's disappeared. The problem is that we live in a time of social media, and the images that they want to put out on black women is the raunchy. Because again, if you look at our whole history, especially here, we were never hypersexualized. We were victims of it, but that was not our personality. That's not the way we walked. That's not the way we moved. All of a sudden, the 80s hit, and it started like chipping away at it. And now I thought it would get better, but now it's like 2023. Everybody is, outrageous. People wear the most, you see, I pray for anybody got kids out here, because the things that I see is too much for me. And I'm just walking down the street at 3:00 in the afternoon. So I don't even want to think what the babies will see. So it's like,
yeah, they're doomed.
They do not care. I'm gonna put everything out there. Look at the things that come out of people's mouth, and it's all looking for attention. All of it's about looking for somebody to focus on. I'm coming out of a restaurant. Oh God, I need to stay in the house. But anyway, so I'm walking with my food, and the person gonna yell at me. The two chicks like, "Oh, so what you drinking?" And I'm like, I say, "Oh, this is just a juice. Can I have some?" I'm like, I just kept walking, because they wanted me to go over there where they were and to try to get in the middle of what they were doing. I'm like, look, I'm not about that, and I come from the other side of the streets, and I understand what y'all trying to play, but not everybody. They may think that's they being friendly. Let me go over there. It's just too much that's being put out there, and we're just jumping on it like a bunch of nuts.
Yeah, well, there's a lot we could do. I agree. Women, y'all could toughen up, and men, we could toughen up, and we could just. Sometimes you got to turn social media off. Man, listen. I was just in a heated conversation earlier. I was telling my girl, and I use that term loosely at the moment. I was like, you know what your problem is? Stop paying attention to people's shit. Stop, like, be grateful. You know what I'm saying? You need to be grateful. Like, if you have a man or a woman, you should be grateful, because that's a big task these days, to get one and keep one. Because that is hard.
Perfection does not exist on this planet, so stop looking for it.
Yeah, there's no perfecting. Is Mr. Right? Is he right for you? And can you see building him? Like, I was with I was with a couple, my friends Paul and Miriam, and she goes, he wasn't the man I wanted, but I saw potential, and I steered his ass. I took him to the left, to the right. When he went too far to the right, I took him back to the left. And I worked on this man for years, and he is the man he now is the man that I wanted. He wasn't the man I wanted then, but I saw that he wanted. See, in a relationship, you have to be focused on potential. I mean, on potential and intention. What do they want to do? That's it. And then you have to be grateful for what you have. Like I told my girl, I said, we can shut down right now, and we can sell everything we have, our houses, cars, real estate, and we can move to France and drink wine and eat cheese all day for the rest of our life. At the end of the day, that's all I want to do anyway. So what the hell are we fighting for? You know, so sometimes you just need to be grateful for what you have. If you got a small butt, so what? You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to hip hop again. You don't need all that junk. Men don't like that big old. That shit look ridiculous. Eyelashes, cool. Weaves, cool. Whatever. But like, you gonna spend 20 grand on a big old booty? Come on.
And I think too, and Eunice, and if I didn't already to you verbally, hello, you've been making a lot of great points, and that comes from us teaching our children, you know, the proper way of being. And Thunder, you know, you asked the question about what happened to men and women, the way they used to dress in the 50s, right? Women, when you are even not even going out, right? If they were just going to the store, and y'all saw my post about Walmart, I was like, I'm about to stop going there, to be honest with you, because there's a lot of bonnets and house shoes and white. There's a lot of stuff going on there that just kind of messes me up a little bit. But I agree with you. You know, what happened to the way of being proper? If I go out somewhere, I don't care if it's a movie or whatever, I'm going to put one of my best foot forward, and I'm not going to wear no ball gown, but I'm going to look like I took the effort. A lot of times when I go out nowadays, you know, whether it's the movies or dinner or something, I'm like, wow, not that I'm in people's business, but y'all showed up like that. Y'all just, you know, the men wearing shorts with basketball shoes on and T-shirts. It's like, I thought you didn't put no effort forward at all. And women, I remember one time I'm out with my dad. We was at the store and we was sitting in the car, and we watched this couple walking into a restaurant. The guy's pants was hanging off of his butt, had a wife beater on and flip-flops, and she wasn't dressed that much better. And my dad says, he goes, I don't know how a woman could even date a man who won't pull his pants up off on his ass. That's what he said. And I said, you're right. He says, because that starts with the woman. Why in the world would she not have enough value on herself to say, partner, you need to pull your pants up. We're going out to dinner. You need to dress accordingly. See, but we got to start holding each other accountable. You show up to pick me up and you're not presentable, then I probably shouldn't be getting in the car with you. Because for one, you don't care that much about yourself, and you don't care that much about being seen with me enough to be presentable. Right now, I get it. Maybe, you know, you're not able to dress for whatever reason. I get all of that. But if you're slovenly in everything that you do, then yeah, you might need to go to some etiquette classes. Go talk to your granddaddy about how they used to do it. I don't know. But we got to start holding ourselves accountable. And fellas, how many of y'all, if that woman showed up, you go to the door and you pick her up or whatever, she opens the door and she's got that dress on. How many of y'all would actually say, you know what, you fine and all, but I can't be seen out with you like that?
No, I would take her out, but she would get the Bozak. That's all. She not. I mean, hey, if I'm wasting my time and I picked you up, I made the decision. You open the door. Oh, okay, I see where this relationship is going. I'm not taking her to Mastro's Steakhouse. I'm taking a Pookie's Juke joint.
Demetra, remember when you guys were celebrating your mom's birthday and I walked up into the Japanese steakhouse with old girl? How was she dressed?
Which one was that?
Girl. Remember you guys were already eating and stuff, and I walked in with her and stuff, and she was like, bang, bang, bang. That's exactly what Walter was talking about. We're just going to do what we got to do.
I'm gonna take you to somebody else's party. I ain't gonna even spend no money. I'm gonna let you drink some of their sake, and I'm gonna sake it to
but I just want to throw something in it. But because you're now taking them out like that, as women, we like, oh, this is what men want. So then we'll start dressing just like that because, oh, she's getting the dates. Oh, she's going to these nice places. Oh, this is what they're. See, we are visual as well. So we look at these signals and they just keep pushing this agenda forward and forward. Instead of saying, no, here's a jacket, here's something, you need to cover that up.
But let me ask you this, BJ, because I hear what you're saying, but that would be like, okay, like every woman is different in what they want. So just because this woman is dressing like this, what kind of man is she attracting? I don't see Demetra following these girls that are dressed like that to attract Pookie and Ray Ray and Day Day over there. She's gonna, she wants to attract, whatever she wants to attract, which is a little bit different, where she doesn't have to get the enhancements to do that. Because if you're a woman of substance and you can hold your own, which most women can, and that's another thing that I really pisses me off about our women, the self-esteem is so low when it shouldn't be. You guys are the most beautiful women on the planet. Everybody wants to be like you guys. And for some reason, we got it mixed up. But
that is true. That's why they get those big old lips. That's why they're getting those BBLs. They're getting the breast implants. My real estate agent, she's a white girl and she is white as snow, red hair, everything. And she was on her social media playing with this lip, this app that makes you have big lips.
The plumper.
She goes, oh, I like this. And I was like, damn. And so they are trying to be like, they want to look like a sister girl. Like, for most of them have some sort of curves and they're trying to do that. And that's women, black women, y'all need to understand that. And that, not to forget that the black woman gave birth to the planet. Anyways, so the majority of the people on this planet came from a black woman. So keep that in mind. I think having all that stuff going for you, you can skip to the next point, which is, okay, we're going to get our money right. We're going to work on ourselves. And here's the other thing too, women. And I have a lot of friends, and we joke about this. One of my boys like, my woman ain't a 10, she a 5. She's still cute. I ain't trying to deal with a 10. I ain't trying to deal with all that attention, all that. She got her stuff together. We get along cool. I'm cool with a 5. You know what I'm saying? I just want a chick. Because at the end of the day, you get older and looks fade and disappear. Who do you want to be with? You know what I'm saying? I've dated some really super hot chicks and I've dated some normal looking chicks. You know what I'm saying? And for me, the chicks that I had the most fun with was the normal looking chick. My sister will tell you when she met my girlfriend Laura, she was down to earth. She looked like she just hopped off the farm. You know what I'm saying? But it was cool. I didn't have to, not saying beautiful women ain't the move. I'm just saying, just figure out what you want from that person. All that other stuff will fade. The eyelashes, do that for you if that's really what you need for your self-esteem. But don't blame it on men. Men, I think we just like attractive women, period. And I've never even seen a girl's eyelashes. I can't even tell you, my girlfriend, I can't tell you if she's ever worn eyelashes. I don't know to this day. I'm trying to go back in my mind and think if I've even seen her put them on. I notice her face, her eyes, her curves, her hips, her breasts, her attitude. That's the stuff I notice. I know if her hair is real, but her eyelashes, I couldn't tell you. Women, y'all might as well go ahead and save your money on that.
And I will say this. I don't know. I'm one of those people. I try not to judge people on what they want to do with their bodies. I just don't, because I don't have any control over it. Some of the stuff I do see as a woman, I do think that it has a little bit to do with low self-esteem. Because now what we're seeing a lot of women doing, they're calling it augmentation, but to me, it's more on the lines of disfigurement. Because some of the women you see is like, did you honestly go lay on the table and tell them you wanted that? And I'm not even being funny, right? Because some of it is just like, You can't be happy with that. Like I exercise a lot, right? Like twice a day. And in my cycling class, there's a few women now. I will say that I've seen a couple of sisters, but I'm normally seeing like Hispanic women. And some of those booties look like torpedoes. And I'm like, well, you won't.
And the thing with plastic surgery, you have to get that redone after so many years. So that's a constant cost you better factor into your life.
You ain't lying. And as a financial planner, I can tell you, you get a BBL when you're 30, you're going to have to redo it when you're 40 and 50 and 60 and 70. And ain't nothing like a 70-year-old lady with a BBL.
Oh, they out there.
Well, they don't want to be. I promise you. They could probably do it differently. I mean, I know a Spanish girl from my old office. She got a BBL. She looks so ridiculous. I want to send her an anonymous tweet and be like, you dumbass, you look like a spider. Like you don't have no real estate. Yeah, that could have been a down payment on an apartment building or a duplex in Texas. You went and spent your investment property down payment on a BBL? Come on. And that's the first date conversation. Back to that. What the hell are we doing here? Are we doing something together? Or am I looking at your booty when you go to the bathroom and planning my exit and getting you to my crib?
And I will say this too. I mean, there's some women who's like, I got to do something with my shape. And I don't have a problem with people enhancing themselves. But some people, I don't know, like I said, it's your money, it's your body, do what you want. Some people I do think you take it too far. But Brother Jonell says, have not the society indoctrinated Black women into insecurities? Why most Black women are just embracing their natural hair, that they have to go to war to be acceptable in the society. And, y'all, of course, know in the 60s and 70s, Black women and men too, we were wearing our afros, our natural hair, because let's keep it real, men was wearing conks and perms and stuff too. And we became too, I'm gonna mute y'all mics a little bit, there's a little bit of feedback. So we started to embrace our natural hair. And like you said, in the last 20 years, maybe or so, Black women started to embrace our natural hair again. But let me tell y'all my story. Now, y'all see I have these. This is not my optimal hairstyle. However, I do work out a lot. And I have 4C hair. So for some of y'all don't know what 4C hair is, that's that tight like carpet, right? When it gets wet. And so for me to wear my afro out all the time, eventually it will break off because I don't have the type of hair that I can just comb and, set it and forget it. I just don't. So I have to wear my hair like this because I sweat a lot. And it's just optimal for my hair. So I say all that to say, sometimes wearing your natural hair, it is a lot of work. Like when y'all see the hair, y'all see the afro, you're like, ooh, yeah, I want to run my fingers through her afro. Ooh, wow, sexy. But y'all don't know what it took for her to do that. And I'm speaking from experience. It takes a lot sometimes. So, but we do need to figure out how to embrace it. If you want to wear it, that's on you. But, it's not something that I necessarily like doing.
Well, and then for a lot of us, it's about convenience because you don't have the time to, or you need something that from work to working out to, dealing with the kids, picking up the kids, whatever. And you don't have, that's one less thing you have to worry about. So a lot of times we do things because of convenience, not necessarily because it's a trend or whatever.
Right. But if your man says he doesn't like that, like I said, that's between you and your man. Why wouldn't you just do the extra effort and, not do what pleases him, in example. But Demetra, real quick, you're working on a natural BBL. How are you going about it without spending thousands and thousands of dollars?
Well, for me, I kind of was blessed with having some curves. My mama was a curvy woman. So that kind of came natural to me. However, I've gained some weight. And it does not look the same when you gain weight. And so for me, being an older woman, when I say older, I only mean 51. I got to work out and I got to eat right. As my brother say, you don't have to work out as much. You just need to eat better, which is true. But I always say I'm working on a natural booty lift because it can be done right now. I think the other thing as women and men, maybe y'all can help me out with this too. This is where a lot of us suffer. I think as women, we need to say, all right, my booty ain't going to be as high as it was when I was running track in high school. I've had a child. So yeah, I got a couple of stretch marks, and as Donovan says, yeah, I got a couple of bullet wounds via, cellulite. That's what he calls cellulite. But see, that's that bullshit. That's that bull stuff right there. So I think it takes for us to say, okay, gravity is going to win eventually. Now there's things I can do to enhance myself, but I don't got to go be extreme, right? And then on the other side of that, men, I think that's going to take a little bit of understanding from y'all. Okay, she's not going to have a tight body like she was when she was 21 or whatever. Gravity is taking hold because, listen, gravity is taking hold of y'all too. As I said once before, some of y'all fellas can't sit down without sitting on your little two friends, you know, because they've dropped. But I'm not mad at you. So the point that I'm making is I think we all, see, y'all see how y'all laugh because y'all know I'm telling the truth. But for real, what I'm saying is I think we all got to understand gravity is going to win. Am I going to grow old gracefully? Or am I going to be 80 years old with my face off and, you know, my boobs up to here, my booty out to there? It's like, am I going to accept it and work on what I got or what?
See, but at the same time, too, ladies, when I talk to Demetra during the week, you know, I'm encouraging her when she's out there. I just got off the bike. I just did this. I'm always constantly like, okay, cool. Do your thing. You know, get that done. Whatever you're gonna do, and that's what we need to do as men and women. We need to start encouraging ourselves and just it is what it is. What happened to aging gracefully? Golly, you know, when I see women my age that are competing with the 22-year-olds and all this other stuff, to me, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. You had your day. When is your day going to be over? Let these young people do their stuff.
Well, see, Donovan, the problem is the Real Housewives, all them shows, putting this image, oh, I could still look like I'm in my 20s. I could still, I look better than somebody. And it just messed a lot of people up. This is not real. It's not natural. This is not how they really look. Take all these pounds of makeup off their face, you might be looking at Casper the Ghost. Who knows? But this is what we're trying to emulate. And it's like the imaging has women so messed up to the point that they think what's abnormal is normal and what's normal is abnormal.
And let me say this to answer Donovan's question. My day ain't gonna never be over. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? Just because I get older don't mean I go out to the pasture and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait here and die. No, as an older woman, my day ain't gonna be over. However, I agree with y'all, us competing with the younger women. Listen, first of all, we shouldn't even be wearing the same things the younger women are wearing. We shouldn't even be in the same spots or doing it. We shouldn't even have the same mindset that the younger women are having. As it is said, and those of y'all follow the Bible, it says that the older women are supposed to be leading and mentoring the younger women. But the problem is now there's no line of demarcation where there's older women, the wiser women, and the younger women. Y'all, I don't know if y'all follow Mama D, Scrappy's mama. She's 59 years old and she's in cat suits and got her boobs all out and top out, having hot girls. And it's like, girl, if you don't sit your Geritol self down somewhere.
But Demetria, you said a mouthful with that because back in the day, don't you remember when they would have like age appropriate, these are the things for the people in this age group, this age group, this age group. And it could be the same sort of styles, but be like tweaked based upon you don't even see that stuff anymore. It's like everything is for everybody, from the 60 years old to you're 66 years old. You can still wear them same leggings.
Right. But, you know, it's honestly, at the end of the day, Rashad, you said I already got a BBL. I mean, you know, I RIP to my mama. My mama had a very nice shape, you know. I just think at the end of the day, you have to love yourself. And I'm just going to say it, I'm probably going to get in trouble. And I see a lot of women and some men too. When I see the things that they've done to themselves, I'm like, you cannot love yourself because there's no way you went and you purposely, you think that looks good. Now to you, it may look good. So I'm not to judge, but it's like after a while, those things have ramifications, the things that you're doing to your body. A lot of these doctors, they're not really having these conversations with these people. Like, you know what? You're probably not gonna like this in 5 years. They're like, yeah, jump on the table. I'll put some fix a flat in your butt or whatever the case is. But then there's the other thing too. There's a glorification of big giant butts. Now, as a person that has a little bit of a butt, I always say, why would you want more of that? I've never done that. It's a deal sometimes to find pants to fit right. And why would you want more of that? It's a lot. Not that I got a lot. But I'm just saying.
But so many people are doing it now. That becoming so many people's normal. What an image is supposed of a woman is supposed to look like. It's like how do you then see a real person next to that and you thinking, oh, you're different? It's like, because you look normal. I mean, because there's so many people with, I mean, just enhancements is fine, but when it becomes to the point that it's overboard, it's like, when do you stop? Because now, how do you now up the BBL that your size of X? Now I gotta make it triple X to make it bigger and better. I mean, when will this stuff start to level off or start to come back to normal?
When women start speaking up and the grown women start speaking up, like y'all, I'm just gonna make a point. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna switch gears a little bit. I watched Gabrielle Union on TV destroy the black man and woman on one award speech, and Dwayne Wayne sit his ass back there and not say a word. Lord help our Jesus for black people. My God. I hear a lot of women going in on social media. That's the shit y'all need to be doing out there, marching in front of that woman's house. Like, roll up like George Floyd style. Like, and I'm going to go all out. That is black assassination. When you tell, and this is a married couple, by the way, too, which is totally freaking me out. Because if her parents thought like she did, they wouldn't be here. Do not tell me that your kid at 3 wants to switch his sex. Come on now, my daughter Morgan wore dressed like my son till she was like 14, 15 years old. He went out with some blue Nikes. She had on some blue Nikes. But I wasn't like, oh, maybe she want to be a man. I was like, thank God I could shop and get them both something at the same time. People be trying to switch things up. And listen, y'all women need to start telling these other women it's okay to be a black woman. It's okay to be natural if that's what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So I got to get out here. It's my son's birthday. I'm going to still listen.
Yes, and tell Evan that I'm going to call him. He's what, 20 today?
He's 20 today.
Congratulations.
No, he's my, yep. Ooh, my kids are almost grown. I got my daughter turning 18 in May. Hallelujah.
Wait, like Brother Phil, we're going to have a child support party. Into child support.
I support my kids, even my 30-year-olds. I support them. That child support, as a real father, don't never end. Shit, that's a fantasy.
No, we're not.
All right, Walter. Well, tell him that I will call him and enjoy Black America.
Peace. Oh yeah.
I was wondering when you was coming on here.
Yeah, I want to hear this dude, but I'm gonna do it from my phone.
Have fun.
All right.
Oh, okay. So basically what you guys are really trying to get down to the nuts and bolts of what is attractive and what is acceptable to women as far as standards is what it sounds like to me. And what you guys don't realize is if a woman is attractive, and let's say Donovan had a woman, he still wants that woman to be his hoe and his freak. You see what I mean? He still wants her to be his slut. And you guys are trying to, so yes, the women that look like sluts, men are going to chase them. Because, you still need to wake up with a BJ in the morning.
Well, then don't complain about a slut being a slut.
No, guys don't complain about it. You guys are complaining about it.
I'm not complaining about it. But y'all saying these women after my money and my this and that, and they don't.
Let me tell you something, miss. How old are you? Can't nobody see
why
you.
Is that important?
Because if you still think that men, after all these years you done been on this earth, care about money, you're ridiculous. We make money and spend money on everything every day. Men don't care about money. They give it away at strip clubs. They buy cars, houses, vagina. Men spend money on everything. They don't care about money as long as they're getting something in return for said money. You could have all my money if I could wake up with head every morning. I don't care. I don't care. As long as I could wake up with head and breakfast every morning, you could have all my money.
For some women, that's not enough. And that's why they're not waking up in the morning with you.
Exactly. It doesn't matter to me.
It doesn't matter to me as well.
That's what I'm saying. So you talking
But
about
my
God?
thing is to try to make this slut as the image of what I'm supposed to be. That's when we got a problem here.
No, nobody say you can be as prissy and as much as a prude as you want. Nobody is stopping you. If your man likes that, nobody is stopping you. But somebody
Oh,
that wants to,
absolutely, absolutely, and that's where it should be, because this is what you want and this is what I want. But the images that are being pushed onto our young people, the images that are pushed upon women, what they need to do, that you got to go down to Miami and get a BBL. Oh, I can't afford that, so I'm gonna go down to Dominican and risk my life. That's when it becomes a problem.
so you think that men say all the time we don't like women with long eyelashes, long fingernails, and these big
Well,
old listen, and these big old dump truck booties. We say it all the time. Now, if they are looking at other women and saying, "Oh, her nails were cute," they're doing it for themselves. They're not doing it for men.
but we can't not deny the fact of that the social media and the media that's been in this America forever pushes this image, and it's playing a part in all this too.
Are you a black?
And a
Are you
lot of us
are
are
you a
just
black
going
woman?
along.
Are you a
Pardon
black
me?
woman? Are you a black woman?
Are you a black man?
Yes, I'm a black man. I ask you, are you a black
Okay.
woman?
What does that matter?
Because you're the one susceptible to it. You don't see black
But
men just hold on. You don't see black men just jumping on every train, doing every little dumb shit. That's
uh
women. Hold on. That's
maybe that
women.
might be in your neighborhood, but it's different than mine. But go ahead.
That's women that follow
No,
other
no, no, no.
things.
I could tell you some things about the men, but I don't. Go ahead.
Okay, so go ahead. So go.
No,
So
no, no.
what is
Go
it?
ahead. What
So
are you
so
talking?
what? So hold on. You brung up a man. So what are men doing that, let's say, Will Smith is doing? What are they doing that Will Smith is doing? Oh,
I
okay.
don't. I'm
No,
not.
nothing.
I
Okay.
don't know
How
what
about
Will
Russell
Smith is
Wilson?
doing,
How about
but I.
how
Well,
about
no,
what a
no. But
regular
I
male
do
doing
know
that
that
Russell
the
Wilson is
men
doing?
are sitting up here. Uh, I could go down the road with the ones who are living up on the women.
You talking about like the
Using her.
homosexuals?
There's a plenty of those, and then the opposite of the ones who got a little something, going to the clubs every weekend looking for those dime pieces with the BBLs.
Okay, what's
Then
wrong with
come
that?
back. Then come back after the fact complaining about those same dime pieces with the BBL. So my thing is,
You
if that's what you
listen,
want, don't complain
listen.
about what you want,
How many men do
and
you
then push
hear
it off and
complain
say
about
this
them?
is how you black women are
How
behaving when it's the choices that you're making.
how many men do you hear I know mostly all men. I don't even talk to women unless I'm attracted to them or trying to screw them. I'm just being honest with you. It's no reason to talk to a woman, even my tax lady. It's no reason to talk to you if I'm not trying to
But see
beat your
that, but
walls.
that's you, and you are one person. That's not all men.
That is how men have a use for a woman. If I don't have a use for you as a man, you don't have a use for me being in my life. You're a waste of time.
So
You're a waste of time, money, energy, and
but
resources.
let me
You
say
are
this.
not a man.
Let
You're
me
not
say this.
every man.
But let me say this. Ooh. I try to listen to everybody's point of view. Um, Black America, you said if a man does not have a use for a woman, he's not going to talk to her, and that's fair. Can't tell you, how to act. But I think that's probably true for everybody. My dad always says people are to be of use, not to be used, right? So I think people should be of use to some degree, but that's if I don't, that's all I need you for, type of thing. I don't know about all of that, but as far as men, I mean women needing to be sluts for their man, I would take that. I guess I hear what you're saying, but I guess I would need you to define that as cleanly as you can. What does that mean exactly, being a slut? Because I have a lot of things going through my mind when I hear that.
Everything that you may be thinking of going through your mind, you know why? Because just like you heard, if you won't do it, another person will. You
Yep.
need to be doing every one of those things that you can even think about. You guys keep the stuff spicy. We keep the stuff on the straight and narrow. Donovan wants to go to work every day. He was in the military. He has structure. That's all he wants to do. You guys need to keep it spicy. We don't need to do anything, but we I like to say we need to for you to give us all of yourself as we give all to you. And it's a difference. I need everything that you have so you can have me. You see what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's fair. Like you said, it's vice versa, right? Give me all of you, I'll give you all of me, with exception of some things you can of me you can't have. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, I'm just saying. But I mean, I get that there's a give and a take.
Hey, D, I don't mean to cut you off, but my phone is about to die and I got to get back on the table hunt. So I'll see you guys later. I'm gonna plug it back in and be listening to y'all.
All right, thank you.
Nice seeing y'all. I just had to come up because
I know you did.
the young lady on the thing. I mean, you guys are like, you women are living in the fantasy land, man. Y'all got it. Y'all talking about what these other women is doing. Y'all need to start. I'm not talking about poking it out. Y'all need to find you a man and start cupcaking and start finding out what a man particularly wants from you. If you don't, you're going to be out here. It's going to get colder and colder. Eggs are going up. Logistically, I'm in the trucking industry. It's getting worse every day. You guys don't even know.
Inflation is
That bank just failed. That bank just failed. We're going to see if that's going to be a structure
Right.
starting tomorrow.
It's getting worse. I'm losing thousands right now. It's getting worse and worse. You guys have no idea. So you guys have a beautiful night. I'll talk to you later. Okay.
You too. Take care now.
Bye bye.
And I want to say this. My parents always used to say, "God bless the child that's God."
That God is on.
I say all that to say, I can buy my own eggs. Yes, I can.
Yes, because if I got to go through all that, it is not, it's not worth
and
it.
Listen, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. On the other side, I don't have a problem. I don't have a man, so I don't have a problem doing those things. But dressing up and all of that. But anybody I was ever been with, they'll tell you Demetra is about that life. I am a traditional woman. I cook, I clean, I make sure he's good. You ain't taking no cold ass bologna sandwich to lunch. I'm making extra for dinner. I'm gonna make extra so you can take it to lunch. So whatever you have for dinner, you're gonna take that to lunch. So I know how to take care of a man.
Yep.
And I'm not usurping him, or you don't tell me what to do, sucker. You ain't my dad. No, none of that. All right, honey. If you think that's best type of thing. So I want to address this too before we get out of here, because we could be here forever. I was having a conversation with somebody about good women, and of course I have this conversation with Donovan a lot. There ain't no more good women out there. And as I always say, oh yes, there's plenty of good women out there. I'm one of them. But,
it's just where you're looking.
Well, not even that. The good women have taken themselves off the market.
Yeah.
And have allowed y'all to deal with the thoughts.
Yeah, but that's what they want. That's what they want.
Right.
Stacey Donovan know their moves. Look, he knows what they want.
Right. Well, I'm saying that's who you guys are dealing with, because the good women, unfortunately, and I don't want to say this about all men. I believe there's some men out there want to be women.
Yeah.
But I haven't experienced that, And I tell y'all one thing about my baby daddy. I tell you about my baby daddy all the time. I love my baby daddy. I love him now, that we're 100 years old. But he told my daughter the other day, he says, man, if I would have stayed with your mama, he says, I'd be a millionaire by now. He said, because your mom was a hustler. She got good ideas. She can draw, and all you got to do is run with it. He said that to her. My daughter's father, who we used to go back and forth to court and want to choke each other, he said that. If I would have stayed with her, I'd be a millionaire.
I believe that. He also said that you've been trying to get back with him for years. Remember we were in the car? He said you've been trying to get back with him.
Like what alternative universe you living in, brother?
Remember we were in the car coming from the airport. He was like, you've been trying to get with me for years.
He's in the multiverse.
very good relationship now that they have, and that's pretty much how it should be. Once we mature, we all have to go through it. We go through the immature phase, and then we mature.
But the problem is, like with Demetra, now he sees the value of what he has, and he couldn't see it when he had it, and that's why I'm like, communication is everything, and we got to get the media out of our homes, because we're looking at the white picket fence and the two and we should have this 45,000 square foot house. Well, you got to do something to get to that 45,000 square foot house. So we looking at what we want and thinking that's what we need, when what you need is standing right in front of you, and we don't put no value in that.
Right. Now, BJ, I don't know if you've been watching the news. You had a Section 8, and this is not to argue. I'm just trying to relay the point of where our mind is. If you've been off Section 8 for 6 years, I guess a role just opened up in some city somewhere, and everybody's rushing to get it. It's a mindset. If you've been going without it for 6 years, why would you sign up now?
Because average rent is $1,500 a month, so everybody probably running towards that. I'm about ready to rent my house out.
But see the mindset,
$1,700 out.
Right. But what I'm saying is the mindset. Our mindset.
It's ridiculous because things are so expensive that people are looking for any kind of way to make things easier.
Real quick. Demetra, you ran track. What do you do when somebody runs faster than you?
What do you mean, at the time, or
just as a track star, as somebody who's ran track? If there's another competitor that is running faster than you, what do you do?
Well, you practice. You try to, or you study them to see what it is that you can do to maybe run faster. See what their style is.
You run faster. You work harder. Whatever. That's how simple it is. Rather than saying, "Oh, I'm gonna take this Section 8 after waiting 6 years for it to open up." Have you guys noticed around the country, and this is not political, they're opening up all the Section 8, but nobody's accepting it. It's a trick bag. So if you've been years,
let me say this, child. Let me say this.
No. Well, where I'm going with it is, it's a mindset.
Yeah, but let me say this. Mm-hmm. Y'all, just like some Black women, keep focusing on the low-hanging fruit. All sisters ain't looking to get on no Section 8. Wait. Just like all Black men are not dogs or whatever the case is, right? Like those, we need to start focusing on them, because listen, I would even venture to say most Black women, or I would even say probably a small amount, are looking to be on Section 8 for the rest of their life. And the other thing too is Section 8 just ain't for poor-minded people. Section 8 is for people for a whole host of reasons.
No, but that ain't my point. My point, I just use that as an example. My point is, it's our mindset in regards to how we deal with each other. Like I said, maturing. It's our mindset. We got to mature. I Section 8. I just use that as a recent example.
Even with the Section 8 and anything that's given to you, especially if it's given from the government, use it to your advantage. But do not become dependent upon it, because they can slip that card right up under you at any given time.
Right.
Because once you get comfortable with it, it will be gone. So in the way I grew up is that you always have to be looking 5 steps ahead of you, because you never know where it's going to pivot. So take advantage of what you have in front of you and use it to get to where you're trying to get to. Use it to your advantage. Make sure you save. Make sure you making those moves that when the bottom comes out of it, you can land on your feet.
Exactly. And that was my whole point. I just use that as an example. It's the mindset. We've got to start changing our mindset. Just as we mature and we think of different things. When I was a child, I thought as a child. When I become an adult, I have to think as an adult. We got to change our mindset as a people. So our
none of this stuff is guaranteed to
our attitude toward each other as men and women, we have to change it, because we need each other at the end of the day.
Yeah, because you're talking about 40 years of this, where we're at. It was a 40-year process to get us to this point. Either we're gonna stay on this trajectory and keep falling lower, or we're gonna have to switch it and start elevating ourselves and stop letting other people define what we should and shouldn't be, especially if we're not profiting from it. Because again, name the Black corporations that own any of these lashes, hair, BBLs, surgery. We don't have a hand in any of that. But we're making a lot of people rich who are living where we could get on that table, and that could be our last breath we ever take.
Absolutely. And let me say this, and we're about to get out of here. I'm going to take these last couple of comments. And Thunder, you say hard times are coming, family. We need to get ready because we know that help is not coming. We are the help that we need. And I always say this, despite what, BJ left. I don't know what happened to her. Despite what some people say, that, I'm against the manosphere. I'm not against the manosphere. I don't have a dog in the fight. But you guys will always hear me say that Black men and Black women need each other. We need each other, okay? We cannot do this without each other. Problem is with us as a people now, we're fooling ourselves into thinking, I don't need the Black man, I don't need the Black woman, and we do. As I always say, nobody else says that about their man or their woman. They're like, I can't stand that heifer. But guess what? We buying the block. We're going to, save our money, and we're going to do it together. But see, you hear a lot of brothers that say, I don't need a woman. I'm going to live by myself. I don't want to get married. I'm scared. And then a lot of women say the same thing. But it's like, look at the condition of our race. We don't have any unity. The Black man and woman don't have any unity. We don't have any unity financially, educationally. Everywhere you look, we are disunified as a people. And so we need to get out of our own heads and thinking we don't need each other. Because when it becomes crunch time, you're going to wish you had a good man. As I said, with that snake that was up under that car, I was glad so many men jumped to. I was like, and just like, it just was like, it was a wonder to see. Not that I didn't believe that men do that kind of stuff, but I was just in total awe of watching it unfold as all those men put on their capes to, get the snake out of the car. You know what I mean? And so that really reinforced to me that, yeah, we need men. As women, we need men. And men, y'all need us too. Let's keep it real. Y'all need us too. Somebody else said something on here that I wanted to address before we get out of here. My daughter's like, your dinner's getting cold. I haven't eaten all day. And Common Man, hey, you make a good point. Says, I think Section 8 should only be for working people. People who never work should never be allowed to get Section 8. So I agree with you to some degree. I think that people who are working, I think that they deserve a break too from the high rent. And people who never work, that's problematic. Why haven't you never worked to the point of you can't take care of yourself, right? So, yeah, you might want to get a job. But see, that's the other thing, too, with the government. They set it up like that. We don't really want y'all dependent. We want y'all to be, independent. We want y'all to depend on us so that you guys do not do, as Marcus Garvey said, up you mighty nation, accomplish what you will, right? We don't never want you to do that. So anyway, we can be here forever. I love and appreciate every last one of y'all, even though we agree or we don't agree. It's all love at the end of the day. Iron sharpens iron. And we learn from each other. We bounce off of one another. And so we'll see you guys on Tuesday. Or y'all see us, but you won't see, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Donovan and I will be doing the podcast. And so, again, y'all have a great day. I know the Oscars are on. If that's y'all thing, enjoy and all of that. And let me see. I'm going to give Brother Samuel's comment. He says, I think I heard the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan say that. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad said, welfare spelled backwards means farewell to self-reliance and independence. Yeah, it's you need it for temporarily, but if it becomes a lifestyle, it's like you're never gonna surmount those odds, right? So yeah, that I love that. So anyway, I will see y'all later. You guys have a great day. Thank you, Donovan, so much for being here. Love and appreciate you as well. Y'all have a great day. Peace.